Okay, mic on, cam on. Remembered. Today I got a new strain. I only bought a gram because I'm just trying it, but it's Jungle Sunset. I thought that was such a cool name, but I didn't want to commit to like a full quarter or eighth on it. What is going on in Thorpe news? I think the biggest Thorpe news would be came from the Discord. The Ava and Ruby versus Grace storyline didn't really move forward much. Ava said she's done covering the Thorpes for a while. Things are too because Grace apparently is it's upsetting Ava that that Grace is doing like a Ho Logic arc, I guess. But in the Discord we had the Great Convergence. I don't remember what his name is on Discord now. He changes it pretty frequently, but he kind of held court for like I don't know 2 hours last night talking to a bunch of people. I didn't hear all of it, but I heard some of it. I saw he was playing guitar for a while, talking to King, Dan, some of the Discord regulars. Shoot, I can't remember who else was in there. Tyrone was in there for a while. Hey, how's it going, Dan? So that's it. Really, the Discord was the main Thorpe shit yesterday. Pretty slow news day. I did debut the King TL Discord voice messages, which were just as entertaining the first time. Well, today I'm gonna watch old. I want to watch some episodes of this old. It was a date. Was that like an? I seem to remember it being like an afternoon show, but I guess it could have been a morning show. But like before internet dating, if you wanted to find somebody, if you didn't want to just go to a bar or whatever, you had to like you could either put like an ad in the newspaper looking for somebody or like go to a singles function or something, or you could video date where you would like literally make a vlog that like sold yourself to other people. Then they would play that for people and they could pick you based off your video. Any court updates? I haven't seen anything, man, at all. It's been super slow on the news front. But then Love Connection was a show that was centered around the video dating, but the dates were always really weird, or like Chuck Woolery, the host, is kind of a colorful guy. But I got a few episodes of that. They're really short. They're only 20 minutes without the commercials. So, but then I found another daytime game show called Win, Lose, or Draw, and I managed to find there's tons of complete episodes, but I found an episode complete with all of the local Texas affiliate ads on it, which I think is pretty cool. I feel like the ones we watch that have the ads in it are just like inherently cooler, but I could be wrong. So I don't know what's going to go on I don't know where we're going with any of the stuff going on in the Thorpe arc. Ruby did not post yesterday that I'm aware of. She didn't stream or anything. I didn't see anybody talking about it. So I don't know what happened with the what was it, the National Restraining Order Day. There's my Jungle Sunset gram. It's really pressed. They really smashed it up on me. Oh, and also, like, Love Connection would only pay for your date if the audience voted for, like, you had to go out with who the audience wanted, or Love Connection won't pay for your date. So, in any case, let's see what's on. And these are completely random. I have no idea. If I picked crap episodes, I'm sorry. I haven't seen this stuff in a long time. And for reference, this is from the late 80s. So like this is June 8th, 1988, but the other two we're watching I think are 1989 for a time frame reference.
Welcome to Love Connection, where old-fashioned romance meets modern-day technology, where you hear all the intimate details of a first date. Sometimes our dates have a happy ending. And some other times, there's just an ending. But it's always unpredictable when two strangers meet, trying to make that love connection. And now, here's our host, Chuck Woolery.
This is kind of like the original speed dating, except it's really slow because they actually have to go on a date and then they come on the show and they review each other's riz and then decide if they're going to go out again. It's actually really, I think it's a really neat show. I really liked watching it. I mean, it's kind of like, brain rot or like, low engagement or whatever, but I think it's entertaining.
Welcome to the show. Nice to see you all. Let's get started by meeting our first guest. Now, he's into scuba diving, skiing, dancing. He dates at least twice a week, and he says that most of the women he meets are always complaining about their...
We're to believe that Randy Blanchard is dating twice a week? I don't think so. No. He kind of looks like a young, what's that guy from Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson? Kind of a young Ron Swanson. The dating show Studs, my brain's not processing that. I feel like I should know what that is, but I don't. I'll have to check it out. Hey, Samantha, can you imagine this show with this generation? I don't know. I think some things are universal, but it would definitely be interesting. I mean, it would be pure drama.
Problems. Please welcome Randy Blanchard. Well, everybody's got problems, I guess. What kind of problems do these women?
Well, basically, you name it, they've got it. I mean, insignificant things, work.
So tell me your problem with women, Randy. Well, if you name it, they got it.
Private lives, relationships. I mean, most of them are nothing. I mean, there's something that you should just be able to throw off to the side and forget about, but they want to dwell on them. I don't know if they just like wallowing in self-pity.
Well, maybe they want you to help them with them.
I do. I just tell them snap out of it. Put one foot in front of the other and go forward. You can't dwell in it forever.
Okay. I can remind everybody what happened yesterday. Our studio audience saw Randy's three choices. They voted for one. We're going to take a look at all three women and catch you up today. First, it was Sharon. She prefers dating men with blue eyes and a college education. Nancy avoids men who wear...
These people are in their late 20s. That's insane to me. Like, the way that people, like, the shifts in the way that people age just in the visible generations that are alive is wild to me.
Wear gold chains and use hairspray. Kristen describes herself as
So Nancy worked at a pager company. That's interesting. Is that a young Ben?
Confident but gullible. Now, the audience vote was recorded yesterday. We'll get to that a little later. Right now, Randy's going to tell us who he chose.
I chose Sharon.
Chose Sharon. She's backstage. Say hello to...
Like, I'm not sliding this woman at all. It's technology, the advancements in different things. But, like, I would have never thought she was 29. I would have thought she was, like, like at least in her late 30s.
Sharon Myers. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Chuck.
Welcome to the show. Bring Kevin home, okay? All right, tell me about the date.
Well, I'm basically new down here from Northern California. I moved down a couple months ago. So I called Sharon up. She lives all the way down in Costa Mesa, and I'd never been there before. So basically, I told her, look, I'm putting myself in your hands.
I remember as a kid when I would watch this, like mentally, I would try to learn the geography of California because they always talk about I didn't want to drive down to wherever because I'm up here. So like I've forgotten all of it and it was all just in one ear and out the other. But at the time I was like convinced I was going to become like a master of California geography based off a Love Connection.
Pick something for us to do. We'll have fun.
That's about an hour and a half, hour away, something like that.
It's a little bit of a cruise, yeah.
Yeah.
So I hopped in the old mobile, drove down, came over to her house about 11:30.
Did you hear everybody laugh at him for saying I hopped in the mobile?
One of the biggest problems I was running into is she was wearing the same perfume that my ex-mother-in-law wore. So it was...
Ooh, right off the bat.
I mean, I hate my ex-mother-in-law. She hates me. So it started off on a real bad note to begin with. But I figured, what the heck? Let's go ahead and try to make the best out of this. So we hopped in the car.
What the heck? Let's try to make the best out of this?
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't. This guy. I mean, he's mad because he didn't like he's acting like the date's over because he can't get over like that it's her perfume.
Let's see what happens. I figure I drove all the way down there. Let's give this poor girl every chance. So.
What? Let's give this poor girl every chance? Wow.
We hopped in the car, and she said, well, I've got this real nice restaurant picked out. And we drove down to Newport Beach, and We go to this restaurant. I knew we were in trouble the minute we arrived because we were like the only people there.
Hang on just a minute. Are there any conversation? Remember any of the conversation in the car, or was there anything that starts?
Oh, yeah. Randy complimented me by saying of the girls he chose, one was a beautiful blonde girl that looked like Elizabeth Montgomery, and the other was no competition at all. And then he liked my personality. So between beauty and personality, he chose personality. So he started scoring points right away there. He told me I looked hefty on the
I think Randy is getting his dating advice from Playing with Fire.
video, but scrawny in person.
Well, I figured, I'd tell her what's on my mind and what I'm thinking.
Well, now what happened next? So you get to the restaurant. You're
So we got
the only one.
only two there. Menu was real limited. She picked out the restaurant. She's a little ditzy, which is a lot like my ex-mother-in-law too. And we go to this restaurant. It had about the world's best service. I mean, there's like one waiter there. We're the only people there, and he'd ask us silly questions like, "Would you like a fork? Something to eat with and what have you." So the service was really poor, and it wasn't going very well.
But consider
Well, I didn't like the fact that the waiter asked me if I'd like to have a fork. Cringe. The date isn't going good at all. No, this was a good rando grab. Hey, JF.
Randy had suggested we go on a picnic and showed up without a picnic basket or anything else in hand.
It was a
what we were
cloudy
supposed to
day.
do on a moment's notice. So, but it was
So you
okay.
just picked up on a moment's notice, is what you're saying.
Right, basically,
Well,
uh-huh.
how are you feeling about his personality at lunch now?
Well, let me tell you, Chuck, he's not the most exciting guy in the world. In fact, Randy was about as much fun as watching paint dry.
Now, I'm not saying that she's perfect, but I do think that Randy is someone that I would have no interest in ever talking to. He seems like a complete, wet blanket, but he's super, I don't know how to explain it. He's like the OG red pill.
But anyway, I thought, well, hell, let's try kissing her and see what that's like.
No, wait a minute.
Oh my God, this is a Lalo move. Hey, this entire experience has been a complete disaster with everything going wrong, but hey, at the last minute, I'm going to try to kiss you and save it.
Now, hang on.
Well, I didn't know what to do. It was either swim or let him kiss me, so I let him kiss me.
You did?
Just a little one on the right here. Because I didn't know what else to do. I was a wuss. I should have just jumped in the water, I know, but...
Anyway, I was getting really bored, and I suggested, well, let's go back to your place and wait, and maybe we can go out dancing later and do something with some kind of thrill somewhere. So we went back to her place, and she checked the answering machine, which was lit up like a Christmas tree, and she started making all these phone calls. And, the epitome of the date was I was sitting on the couch watching...
Oh, boy. He's mad she got a bunch of phone messages.
afternoon game shows, the typical of what was happening with the date.
I must interject here that at this point, Randy might have thought it a wise thing to perhaps leave if he was just sitting on the couch by himself. But, no, he didn't.
Yeah, well, I had considered it, but I figured I had driven an hour and a half. I figured try and make it work somehow. I mean, it was a long drive, traffic was real bad, and I didn't feel like going.
Well, how did it end?
Well, how did it end? She had it ended basically the same way it went, just mediocre. And I took her out to dinner, figured, let's take her out to dinner before I go. She had a phone call, it was an emergency from work or what have you. So I took her.
A phone call?
Do you think his issue with the answering machine that he felt specifically that he needed to tell us about that was because he felt put out because it kind of slowed the date down? Or do you think that he was implying that hey, this girl gets a lot of phone calls, you know what I mean? It seems like his personality, he would try to suggest that, she was promiscuous because she had a lot of answering machine messages.
It was an emergency from work?
Oh, yes. She had one of them emergency meetings.
Is it really? What kind of...
No, that was actually a fake, and that was Plan B of Plan A. Plan A was my girlfriend's car broke down, and I had to go pick her up, but Randy loused it all up by offering to go with me, so that didn't work. So then I had Plan B, which my boss, who was also a co-worker, pretended that we had a meeting, so we went. So he came and picked me up to go to this meeting.
Sometimes you bang your head up against the wall, sometimes you don't. But anyway, it worked out pretty well anyway, because I ended up going to a club pretty close to her house, and I met a nice woman there and ended up staying down. It was nice.
Well, let's take a look and see who the audience picked for you.
Okay.
See what happens. Kristen, 85%.
Woo!
Oh.
Should have picked the blonde.
Well, I think she was blonde, isn't
That was the blonde. See how
The
ditzy this
other
woman
one,
is?
Elizabeth.
Well, if you want to take our audience's advice and go out with Kristen, we'll pay
Yeah,
for
that
it.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and Sharon, we're sorry that things didn't work out. We do have a nice
That's
gift
okay.
for you.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll see you again on the
I wonder what the gift was. Here's my thing is like, you go on this date and it's terrible, and then you have to go on TV and talk about it, and you like imagine the anxiety. Well, some people would feel like anxiety of like, what are they gonna say? How honest are they gonna be? I wonder if any of them ever contacted or were like, hey, this date went terrible, but I don't want to look like a fool on TV, so let's just say it was boring and we didn't have a connection or whatever. And then I'm sure there are people that did the opposite too. They were like, hey, let's be outlandish on TV. But this seemed pretty real. This seemed like there was a genuine animosity here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
And Randy, you'll be going out with Kristen. Be sure to let us know what happens with that. And we're going to come right back with another couple right after this. Stay with us.
Imagine if Grace could pull this off in real life and we could see like a recap of like Aphrodite going on a date with EFD.
Our next guest was born in New Jersey, or in Jersey City, New Jersey. He enjoys softball, basketball, and water skiing.
Is that the guy from the Young Turks?
Says that he has some very specific ideas about marriage, and he claims that he should never be blamed for a bad date. Please welcome Andrew Bacchus. Hi, Andrew. Well, so you go on this date and it's bad. Who should be blamed for it?
Definitely the lady that I'm with, Chuck.
Why?
Well, simply because I'm a very outgoing, sociable, intelligent person. And I can come down or come up to anyone's level at any time just to make the atmosphere and the situation pleasant. So if it's a bad night, it's definitely her fault because I'm a very...
Because your work is making it.
Definitely, yeah.
Tell me about your specific ideas on marriage.
Well, I definitely want to be married by 30.
How old are you now?
26.
26.
Definitely want to be, my wife to be, have a career going for herself. And when our 2 little kids are born, then we will put her career on the shelf. And she'll be domesticated for a few years until she gets to know the kids. And then she'll proceed on her, and pursue her career after she's done. And, I want the kids to know Mama a little bit,
All right. Let's take a look at the women that Andrew had to choose from. Now, remember, you're going to pick the woman that you think's best for him. First, it was Gail. She enjoys picnics, sunsets, working out. She dates about once a month, and she says that she gets a lot of compliments on her hair. Here's why she broke up with her last boyfriend.
This is crazy to me. This girl is 23. Holy shit. And she owns a printing company? Wow. Hey, Randy, how's it going? Like 23, really?
He would pose in front. He'd pose in front of a mirror, and he'd look at himself. And I mean, nothing's worse than that. I don't even do that. I thought I was a vain person, but he takes the cake. Just took the cake. I couldn't believe it.
Next, there's Trish. She's originally from Bristol, Connecticut. Her hobbies range from reading to country and western dancing.
He wants a trad girl. Well, kind of. He wants her to have a career, though. You know what I mean? I don't think that's full trad.
She says that the first 2 things she notices about
As we know from Grace, a full trad wants you to wait on her hand and foot, and also you have to suck her toes, and you do not get a private goodbye.
a man are his eyes and his chest. And here's when Trish knows that she's in
Looking like Tiffany. God, 23? That's crazy.
for a bad date.
Cocktail waitress back in the 80s was like, that was like a hot profession. Like whenever you heard somebody was a cocktail waitress, it was like, ooh. Like, I don't really know why.
You get in the car, and they look at you. So, what do you want to do? That's just like, I can't believe you're taking me out. You haven't figured out what we're going to do. Or, well, let's go to this dinner. I know this great restaurant. They don't make any reservations. You have to sit there for an hour. That infuriates me.
All right, finally, Karen. She was raised in Brush Prairie, Washington. Are you kidding? Really?
Wow, Chuck Wooler's like, this Brush Prairie? Really?
Her interests include hiking, camping, and aerobics. She says that she gets a lot of compliments on her hand. That didn't work out.
A lot of compliments on her hand. Flight attendant's another one. Like, there may not have been a hotter profession, like, the way society viewed in, like, the 70s and 80s than flight attendant.
he yelled at me about the date. He said, I've had a rotten time and it's all your fault. And it was just like, you know, he was so serious after. And it was something that, to have someone get that angry with me on the second date, it was just like, I don't need this, you know. After a year, maybe you can yell at me, but not after the second date.
Those are the three women that Andrew had to choose from. Now, who do you think would be the best lady for him?
I would say off the top of my head, number 2, just because she seems like she was kind of saying she doesn't like guys who don't know what's going on or like don't plan the date, and he seems kind of red pill, so maybe he'll, hopefully, if he lives up to what he's saying, he would kind of take charge and make those decisions. So I think that's like a kind of an immediate maybe compatibility.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet the woman that Andrew picked. Hear everything that happened on that date. We'll do it in 2 and 2. Be right back. All right, we're back. Andrew's going to tell us who he selected. Who'd you pick?
I picked Trish.
You picked Trish. Now, they haven't seen each other since their date. We always hear both sides. Say hello to Trish Yard. Hi, Trish.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Just fine. Make yourself at home, okay?
Okay.
All right, Andrew.
Hi, Trish.
Hi.
How you doing?
She definitely has some like Tiffany vibes. That adds some appeal to her in this era.
Fine, how are you?
Good. I missed you.
This may have been a good one. Tell me about the date.
Well, she came up to my place, Chuck. She came out of her, I was peeking through my blinds in my living room to try to get a little glimpse of her, and she jumped out of her car, and she was this amazing-looking brunette with a big smile and a great figure.
Lucky you.
She was wearing this nice white jumpsuit, and I have a passion for women in white. I mean, she was looking fantastic in white.
Great. Now, what did you think of him when you saw him, Trish?
Well, when I first saw him, he's not usually the kind of guy I go out with, but he had a nice build, and we went to his house. He showed me his house. He was really proud of it, and he gave me flowers, and I thought that was really nice.
Oh, good. So it's coming along pretty good. Now, what happened next?
Well, we went inside my home. I showed her the home, of course, like she mentioned. I had some champagne on ice. We got to know each other a little bit. Of course, I found out she likes country western music.
Right.
So,
Dude, this guy's got champagne on ice, and he's willing to put up with country western music. Come on, he's got this in the bag.
It was great because the restaurant I had picked out for us was a country western type atmosphere. So we headed down to the restaurant. We were seated at the table.
Would be fascinating to know where these people are, or where these people are at in their lives today. Well, if they were 20 in their late 20 or early 20s here, this is about almost 40 years ago. So that'd put them in their late 60s. Yikes. Yikes. That's scary to think about.
Table, and I noticed to my left there was this table with about 5 guys, and they were simply drooling over Trish. So I really, at this point, I felt like I kind of liked Trish because I kind of felt a little possessive. And I didn't say anything, and she didn't notice it because her back was to
26 with a mansion. Do you remember what it said he did, Randy? I can't remember right offhand.
them, but I noticed.
How were you feeling about him at dinner?
Well, he was really easy to talk to. He was a really nice guy. He was fun, and he was starting to grow on me. It was really nice.
So now what happened?
Well, the DJ announced that there'd be some dancing in the place, and that if we wanted to dance, kick our chair out of our way and just dance around our table. At that point, we got up, ready to dance, and that's when I leaned over and gave her a kiss to break the ice.
Did you mind that?
No, I was really glad to get it out of the way. I hate
There you go. He broke the physical barrier.
sitting there and waiting, wondering if this guy's going to kiss you, when he's going to do it. So it was nice to get it out of the way. And it was nice.
See, she's being extremely responsive to like him being assertive. This is a really good, like, I feel like it's a really good vibe match.
Okay, so now you're dancing.
Now we're dancing and having a good time.
And you're thinking, I'd like to kiss her again.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to put words in your mouth. But I understand.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, I wanted to kiss her earlier, but I didn't want
I
to
see.
be too pushy. Anyway, we danced a little bit. We decided to go to a country western place, and she would teach me how to two-step. But it's actually not really a two-step because it's...
He used to run a motorsports group. I'm going to make a video about Grid One Motorsports because he lied on stream. I asked him about the AI art the other day when he was on stream, and he straight up lied. He said that he didn't make that of Grace, that it was random and it happened to look like Grace. But I mean, he says it right in the clip that I posted, like that he was mad at Grace, so he made AI anime art of her being beaten up by her dad. Like, Grid is out of control. Grid is completely out of control. I'm gonna make it like one of those Breaking Banquet clip of the thumbnails where it says like it got worse or he got worse.
2 steps to the left and 1 to the right, and they should call it a 3-step, but it was a 2-step, and I had a good time. I learned how to 2-step, and we had a real good time at the country place.
Good. So now what happened after that?
Well, we decided to go to a different place and do some other type of dancing, and
Good Lord.
we really danced.
This is about the 3rd place you've been to.
Yeah, we had a great time. I
Wonder if they're gonna go anywhere to do the lambada.
wasn't counting because I was having a good time. So.
Does he get tired after all this dancing, or?
No, he wasn't tired at all. He was wearing me out. He started to get loose, and he took off his tie and kept wrapping around me on the dance floor. And then he unbuttoned his shirt, and it was nice because I saw his chest, and he wasn't really hairy, so which I liked. So, no, he definitely wasn't tired.
So now you're dancing at this other place.
Yeah, we're dancing at this other place, and we
A Grid 1 expose. Grid is totally out of line, yeah. His some of the stuff he says is so bizarre. He went into Ruby's chat after he was on Grace's chat, and somebody was like told Ruby that Grid was just on Grace's stream, glazing Ben. And Grid goes, "Well, I interact with a lot of a lot of different people in this business. That's just comes with being me." I was like, "What?"
we closed the place down literally because they were ready to close, and they had to ask us to leave because we were having such a good
2 o'clock
time.
in the morning?
Yeah, it was about 1:45, and we were really into what we were doing. So we decided to leave and go back to my place.
Yeah, Lambada, the Forbidden Dance. One of my favorite stories about like 80s filmmaking is when 2 different rival factions were literally racing against the clock to make a Lambada movie. So you had these 2 like rival factions like literally filming at the same time, just trying to get out one day before the other movie. So there was like this incredible drama around the battle of the Lambada movies. Well, why does he always want to challenge chat when he comes on? Because that's how he sees himself. He sees himself as like a he thinks he's Andrew Tate. I mean, the way he was talking about, or talking to, who was he talking to? WTF and Grace about like, he was like, yeah, I don't like these. He was talking about like low value women and shit. And I was like, dude, come on, Grid. You're not in a spot to make these kind of, rants about that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's like, when a woman says anything to me, she's just gone. Like, I think he sees himself as, like, this, like, towering figure in the red pill space or something.
we jumped in my car, and there's a little bit of romance in my car. And, on the way home.
By that, a little bit of romance.
Also, I asked him to put the hat on, the Indiana Jones hat, and then Ben just, like, was talking about it for the rest of the stream, the fedora.
Oh, a couple of kisses, just a couple of kisses, and good kisses. And we,
Yeah.
on the way down to my home.
More like Andrew Tater Tot. My real issue, like being serious with Grid, is that he sees himself as being like above the Thorpes and above Thorpe TV, and he certainly sees himself as like he's above Thorpe TV chat, and it's like he's a nobody. Like Grace and Ben are way more known, regardless of whatever the analytics are. Like Ben and Grace are way better known than Grid 1 Motorsports, but he always acts like he's like the prime guest star coming in or something.
She put her head on my shoulder, and we kind of cuddled up while we were
So
driving.
you felt real comfortable with him, I guess.
Yeah, he's really easy to talk to. He's a really fun guy.
Good. Okay, so
Made
you
me
get to
feel-
your house.
We get to my place, I invite her in, of course, and I tell her that I want.
He's always getting into it with Steve and David, and I always think it's so funny. Like, you can tell that Grid is looking for comments from Steve and David while he's on Thorpe TV.
Wanted to make her some coffee because she had a long drive home. And I go inside the kitchen and make some coffee, and by the time I get back into the living room, she's fallen asleep on my couch.
I was tired.
So I, being the perfect gentleman that I am, Chuck, I went inside, I got a blanket and I covered her, and I gave her a kiss goodnight, and I went inside my room and went to sleep.
So you fell asleep right away.
Well, pretty much right away. We talked for a little while, and we cuddled for a little while, and pretty much I fell asleep. I was tired. He wore me out.
I believe you. Let's take a look and see the audience before you. Sounds like a good date. They thought Trish was perfect, 43%.
Yep, even the audience saw it. I think that was a no-brainer. I mean, she just seemed like a perfect match.
If you'd like to ask her out again, take her audience advice, I'd be happy to pay for it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised whenever he said she was a brunette, because I mean, obviously I'm wearing sunglasses indoors, so that kind of tints my view, I guess. But I thought she kind of looked like a little bit of a redhead.
I would love to go out with Trish again.
You better ask her.
Trish, would you please go out with me again?
Sure.
Yeah, come on out. I'm gonna fall asleep on my couch now. It's nice to have you both here. Thanks for sharing your day with
Was that a threat from Chuck Woolery? Don't fall asleep on my couch?
us. We appreciate it. Yeah, stay in touch. Will you do that?
Definitely.
We're gonna come right back with the next guest. Stay with us.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel, am I missing something here? No, I feel like is she not a redhead, or at least like a light, like a light reddish brown?
Stay tuned for more of Love Connection.
We're going to meet our next guest. She's originally from St. Paul, Minnesota. She admits that she may move a little too quickly for men. And
26. Okay, 26. I like her job. Movie distribution clerk. But 26? Really?
she claims that she has a unique method
Never been married. Cheryl Cloner. Good personality. Let's see.
of selecting who she'll date. Please welcome Cheryl Cloner.
Trishany, Skinny's 80s woman.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Good. Are you nervous? How are you nervous? I don't know. Just having fun. Just enjoy yourself. Just like being in your own living room. What's your method of selecting a date?
Well,
Hey, Richard Ramirez, what's up?
I have this little built-in manner scanner. It doesn't matter where I am, if I'm on the phone, if I'm in public, it sort of lets me know when there's a cute guy around. And I don't have a problem at all approaching men. And I think I come on a little bit too strong. I have to stop throwing myself at their feet.
Well, why do you do that?
Oh, boy. Resolution is 8K at least.
Lust.
Lust?
Wow, this lady is wild. She comes on TV and she's saying, like, she's throwing herself at men, and he's like, what would you do that for? Lust.
Like an honest person.
Grace is like instinctually seething over this.
Just lust, Chuck. You meet men on your job?
Ho logic in action.
Oh, boy, do I ever. I think that's all I do. All I have to do is hear male on the other end of the phone, and boy, I'm on them.
Why is that? Are you serious? Why?
Yeah, I guess it might have something to do with my job, you know. I hear a voice, and I get all excited, and we meet, and they say I have like a sexy voice, and I tell them they have a sexy voice, and then, unfortunately, though, all the time we have met, it's like one way. It doesn't work, you know.
So it's always you kind of...
Either I'm crazy about them, or they're crazy about me, and it's not mutual. So that's why I'm here.
Well, hopefully we can do better for you. I don't know. What do you notice first about a man?
I like clean-cut men. I like forearms, you know, kind of like...
She's looking for a clean-cut man with forearms. You love media from the 70s and 80s, best era for movies? I agree. Well, I really like, actually, weirdly enough, I think that I really like the 1930s for movies, because they dropped... There's like I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years maybe, where they dropped all the codes, so you could put whatever you wanted pretty much into movies. And I like that era. But like, there's the volume of amazing stuff from the 70s and 80s is pretty overwhelming.
Veiny, no hair. Kind of...
Veiny, no hair forearms.
Yeah, sci-fi, horror, like especially the 70s, sci-fi is like so cool, I think.
I feel like very foolish.
Well, no, if that's what you like, that's what you like. That's it?
Yeah.
How do you say, let me check out your forearms there, slide your...
I wish we had more reasonable copyright laws here in the U.S. Like, there's so much cool stuff that's like, would be really interesting to watch that, like, you know, is not making anybody any money or isn't even in circulation or whatever. And like, you know, for some reason they don't want to release it like a DVD or streaming or whatever. But if they find out that you're playing it on YouTube, even just as a live stream, like they'll come and shut it down. I hate that shit.
Your shirt up and do one of these? Oh.
The Hays Code, yeah. So there's like that pre-code era just has some wild movies, like really, really cool shit.
No, I don't know. And also clean fingernails, too.
Yeah, no, you have to have some type of... Maybe she's looking for somebody like Popeye.
Well, yeah, on anybody, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, let's take a look at the tapes.
I mean, clearly she wants to be, you know, she wants to be clapping 24/7, so maybe she wants to make sure the guy's got the power to hold himself up.
That Cheryl saw. Remember, you're going to vote again. First was Gary. He was raised in Wichita, Kansas. And
Logan's run... Oh, my God, Zardos. Oh, yeah, Phase 4. And yeah, those are all great, man.
his hobbies include jogging, swimming. Thinks that his social life would pick up if he were a personal friend of Dick Clark. Well, odd thing to say.
Oh, my gosh. Is that Eric Bischoff?
Say, tell us about one of his recent dates.
She had these little balloons.
That's what I was kind of wondering, Randy, because she was like, you know, in my line of work, and I'm like, is she in adult entertainment?
And she was good at making animals and stuff, you know, she would, when they shaped them into balloons. But sometimes when you're on a date and you're trying to talk to a person, seeing somebody across from you making balloons and handing them out to little kids is kind of, that's my date, the balloon maker.
Next, there was James. His favorite pastime is roller skating. Now,
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna take a second here. How old do you think this guy is? I'm gonna do I'll give like a 5-second delay. All right, get your guesses in.
He thinks he looks a lot like Tom Selleck. And he said,
No way. Scuff Tom Selleck.
Says that if he could change one thing about himself, he'd have smaller feet. Here's more on that.
Oh my God. 26. What? I'm going to fall out, man. I am going to fall out. I cannot believe this. 26 years. Look at this guy. What a character. Only in the 80s. Like, only in the 80s.
I'm self-conscious about it at times because, like, when I'm out going on a date or something and I got the right pair of pants and, oh, God, I don't have the shoes to go with it because I can't find shoes to go with it, so I'm really limited on shoes. And so when it comes to dressing, I go by what goes with the shoes that I have.
Finally, Tom, he enjoys gambling in Las Vegas.
Oh my. Okay, this guy looks like a Bible salesman from the 1950s, or he looks like the real-life version of Barney Rubble. Wow. I'm still struggling to process the fact that guy's 26 years old. I know that guy's literally 4 years older than Grace. That's crazy. Wow. What a wild world we live in. This Jungle Sunset weed is fantastic, by the way.
Driving down the coast, and he says that he avoids women who can't make up their minds, and here's an example of what he means.
Okay, well, finally we get a 30-year-old. Jeez. And he's divorced.
We're at a movie theater. What would you like to drink? I don't care. So you have 3 choices. Okay, we've got orange, Sprite, or Coke. What do you want? Well, I guess I'll have a Coke. Okay. What size do you want? I don't care. At that point, I said, look, I'm not drinking this. You are. Just tell me what you...
Look, big man, you got to step up and place the order sometimes. Some people like that, like to have they like to have the decision-making process covered by somebody else. Man, I cannot believe that guy was 26. I am losing it. And that he thought he looked like Tom Selleck.
Okay, those are the 3 men Cheryl had to choose from. It's time for you to vote. Who do you think would be the best...
Man, imagine you go on a dating show and it's clear this lady's looking to, as Grace said... Did anybody else think it was funny that on that Ho Logic stream, that Grace kept anytime she would refer to sex, she would always say sitting on a dick or sat on a dick. I thought it was weird that that's always like that's always the association, is that if you're having sex, you're sitting on the dick. So she's on Love Connection to find a dick to sit on. And these are her options. I mean, come on. Oh my God. This guy almost seems like the most normal, which is like upsetting. Oh my God. What a crew.
This man for.
We're actually not going to get to see the date either, but I will try to find it so that we can watch it on the next Love Connection episode.
Audience made its choice. Cheryl's going to tell us who she picked.
I picked Gary.
You picked Gary. Now, we're out of time, so we're going to find out everything that happened on Cheryl's date tomorrow. That's our show for today. But we'll be back tomorrow with Cheryl and more singles trying to make a love connection. I'm
Okay, so I'll try to find
Chuck Woolery. I hope
I'll try to find Cheryl and Jerry for the next one.
all your dates are good ones. Good night.
Well, this dress is wild. Okay, so the next episodes are two. They're listed. Hold on. They're listed as if they go together, but I really don't have any idea. So this is supposedly listed as 1983, which I can't confirm, but that's what whoever uploaded it said it's from 1983.
This is Francie. She's divorced and ready for marriage again. Which one of these men did she choose? Which one will our audience choose? And this is Charles. He likes women with smooth skin, long legs, and loving eyes.
Smooth skin, long legs, and loving eyes. I believe this is 1983 based on what we're seeing here. This dude straight up showed up to Love Connection looking like Chris Christopherson.
We showed him videotapes of these three women, and he picked one as his date. Which one did he choose? Which one will our audience choose? Today on Love Connection, you'll find out who they picked, who the audience picks, and everything that happened on their dates. Now, here to tell us more about Love Connection is our host, Chuck Woolery.
So if this is 1983, that's going to be, what, 41
We showed him
years
videotapes
ago?
of these three women, and he picked one as his date.
Whoops, I don't know what happened here.
Which one did he choose? Which one will our audience choose? Today on Love Connection, you'll find out who they picked, who the audience picks, and everything that happened on their dates. Now, here to tell us more about Love Connection is our host, Chuck Woolery.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the show. You know, there are more than 60 million single adults in the United States, so here on Love Connection, we've got a new way for singles to meet. Here's how it works.
Oh, yeah, he looks significantly younger here, I feel like. Even though the other one was only a few years, he just seems much younger here.
We've compiled a videotape library of hundreds of attractive and available single people. We select some of those singles, and we show them 3 videotapes. After they've watched the tapes, they choose the...
Looks like it was retrieved from a time capsule, yeah. I feel like that's what a lot of these... Like, I like that idea, too, of, like, the stuff that we watch on here is all kind of... either stuff from the distant past that's, like, weird to... It's kind of interesting or surreal to watch, or stuff that's being made now that's really, like, gonna be viewed as what the hell were people thinking in the future.
the one they're most attracted to and go out on a date. Then they come here and they tell us what happened on their date. So to begin, let's meet a woman who selected a date from our video library. She's a native Californian. She says she's irresponsible, loves to be in love. Please welcome Francie Wallace. Francie?
Okay.
Well, what does it take for you to fall in love, Francie?
I need something really romantic. Someone that smokes and drinks cigarettes and
Smokes and drinks cigarettes, good.
and drinks cocktails and can lift me.
And can lift you?
Can lift me.
Now you're divorced, yes?
I'm divorced.
Francie, what went wrong?
One day he would want to be a movie star.
This woman is in her 70s now. Like, she's in her mid-70s if she's still alive. That's so crazy.
star, and the next day he'd want to make mortar, and the next day he'd want to be a producer and a meat man. And each week he'd see an ad, and that's what he'd want to be. It was like he didn't know how to go to work.
That's right. Now that we know a little bit more about you, I'm going to say something here. We're going to show you a portion of the tapes that Francie saw. Now, you pay attention, okay, because you're going to get to vote again. First, there was Marty. He was raised in Cleveland. He says he likes...
This guy looks like a stand-up comedian for sure. Like a weird, like a more masculine Richard Simmons.
Likes to chase women, and here's one reason that he's never been married.
I've had, I would say, 3 meaningful relationships. I think I've been in love once. My being in love was simultaneously beautiful and very frustrating. It was with a married woman, and it lasted about 6 months. And
yeah, I mean, that seems pretty reasonable, Randy. It's just drink, smoke, and be able to pick her up. That's for the pile driving.
Finally, her husband beat me up, and they moved out of town.
Next there was Mark. He's from Los Angeles. He loves to spend time with his daughter.
Oh boy, wow. Oh boy. Cocaine Frankenstein.
And he says he's not into the singles scene.
Somebody's going to come into the chat and say they're this guy's son, like they did for Pat Rose yesterday.
Maybe once or twice. I don't think I am looking all that hard. I think I could look harder. But,
yes, lover boy is accurate.
But I've been through periods when I looked very hard and didn't come away any better.
Okay, and finally you watched Eric. Now, he was raised in New York City, likes to gamble. Sometimes he
oh my, MAGA. Eric, this guy's 34. What is happening here? Come on, dude. 34. Eric, 34. MAGA. Which, honestly, it wouldn't be weird. It really wouldn't be, because Reagan used that, too. So, but it's just, obviously, it's going to fill in magazine editor or something, but...
gets a little carried away.
Writer.
In a passionate moment, I actually swallowed a girl's earring, you know.
In a passionate moment, he swallowed a girl's earring.
I was inhaling the...
He's from Los Angeles. He loves to spend time with his daughter, and he says he's not into the singles scene.
I don't think I've ever met somebody in a bar. Maybe once or twice. I don't think I am looking all that hard. I think I could look harder. But I've been through periods when I looked very hard and didn't come away any better.
Like, I'm 11 years older right now than the MAGA guy was back then. I feel like he looks like he could be like a grandfather.
Okay, and finally you watched Eric. Now, he was raised in New York City, likes to gamble. Sometimes he gets a little carried away, he says.
In a passionate moment, I actually swallowed a girl's earring, you know. My cheek was against hers, and I was inhaling a little, and I swallowed an earring in there. I mean, I didn't stop because I'm too well-mannered for
You think this guy's Trigger Man? Tyrone?
that, but I didn't see if that earring ever made it through.
Oh, shit. Okay. Before we find out who Francie chose as her date, let's see all three of them again, okay? First, there was Marty. Now, he's 33. He's a musician. And then there's Mark. He's a 35-year-old attorney. And finally, Eric. He's a publisher. He's 34. And this is where you do it, audience. It's time to vote again. Now,
Now, hold on. That's some ball washing. He's a publisher. It said he was a magazine writer. There's a big difference between a publisher and a writer.
Who do you think is the best date for Francie? Here in the studio and at home, please make your choice now.
I don't know. I don't really have a pick here. I think all these people seem completely out of pocket, so I can't really choose one.
Okay, now right after this break, we're going to find out who Francie selected and everything that happened on her date. So you stay tuned, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Francie, who did you select?
I selected Rick.
Okay. Now, on Love Connection, we always hear both sides of the date, okay?
Look at this. What's up, Ruby Giuliani? Look at this reaction. Look at this dual reaction. This guy is... I cannot believe he's 34.
And Rick is backstage, and we're going to say hello to Rick Stoff. Hi, Rick. Close. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I want to talk to you in just a minute. I want to ask Francie something here.
Dude looks like he's like 2 weeks from retirement.
Why did you pick Eric?
I picked him because he was the tallest, and he sounded really funny. I loved the earring story. I thought I was being really small.
I did too. Eric, what was your impression of him?
Interesting lady with an interesting idea for a date. I was intrigued.
Why don't you tell us about your date?
I had such a creative idea.
Did you?
I rented a limousine.
Whoa!
And I called him up and I said, okay, I'll meet you in front of a bowling alley in the valley. And you're supposed to wear a black tie. Tuxedo. And he said, all right. And I was a sport.
So wear a tuxedo, meet me at the bowling alley. Before Chuck would even say see you in 2 and 2, yeah. What was the other show Chuck Woolery hosted? Shoot, Scrabble. Yeah, oh, that would be, man, I miss Scrabble. That was a fun show.
He was a sport. So we drove up to the, to the bowling alley where we were supposed to be.
Right, in your limo.
In my limo, and he didn't know about the limo.
Oh.
So we drive up, and I see my date standing at this porno bookstore.
Oh, dear.
Beautiful tux and brown shoes.
So they met at a porno bookstore?
Oh, no. I was like devastated.
Okay, so you get there, and what happens next?
So then my limo driver opened the door, and he said, he told Rick that I was the person.
Wait, hang on, man. This lady's showing up to this date at a porno bookstore in a limousine? This is interesting. Wow.
And I think he opened the door, and I said, champagne? Really glamorous. Champagne and little plastic glasses. Yeah,
what are the odds that this lead up with the limousine, the porno bookstore, the tuxedos is going to lead into like a Eyes Wide Shut potential spit roast scenario?
So he came into my limousine and we talked and,
What did you have on now? You had a tuxedo. What'd she have on, Rick?
The nicest part about her outfit was she had a hat with a veil on. It was very, it fit the scene. It was nice.
We drove to the beach.
Drove to the beach.
And that was it.
What?
It was like, we just drove. And, it was really neat. I had champagne and crackers and cheese, and so we kept giving cheese to the driver. The sandwiches, it was really adorable.
There's really 3 of us, actually. The driver was quite a nice guy. I liked
him.
I told you, spit roast with the limo driver.
I'm in a long dress.
Yes.
So we're walking up a lighthouse in high heels and a long dress.
Yes.
And taking pictures with you. You were just so adorable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was so unmemorable.
What time? Unmemorable? Oh, it wasn't good then.
I don't know.
What time of the day was this?
I met him at 8.
In the morning?
At night.
Oh, at night.
But I only had the limo for 2 hours.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
It takes longer to get warm.
I got to be completely honest. I have no idea what's going on in this date. I don't know whether it seems like now she's saying it was bad. It seemed like it was really good. Then then it was confusing. This is a very unusual date.
Warmed up.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you're the guy who ate earrings off a woman's ear.
Hey, Junk, she had the veil mask? Yeah.
What happened?
I wasn't hungry.
You were hungry. Well, how did it really end, though?
I had a date at 10:30.
Oh, that's how it ended. I see. Okay, let's take a look and see the audience. Marty, 56%.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, Marty, 56%. Okay, now here's the deal. What are they? All right.
And she had another date lined up, like, right after him, too. What a player.
If you follow the audience's advice, we'll send you out on another date with Marty. You don't want to do that?
No. He's too short, and he's just got weird ideas.
Well, listen, I want to thank you, Rick. Thank you very much for...
Well, they offered to pay her to go on a date with the guy that won the audience poll. And she said he was too short and he had weird ideas.
For being on the show.
My pleasure.
We have a nice gift for you. Maybe we'll see you again.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. By the way, we have a nice gift for you.
Good.
Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back in just a minute.
And that's why, Randy, he seems so, like, anxious. He seemed really, like, jittery to me on camera. He's trying to get out of there before the before the FBI arrives.
a man who chose a date from our video library. He's a native Californian who says that women often approach him.
Age 35. Age 35. Wow. Bartender, divorced. Country music singer. Jeez, man. We're pretty, it seems like such a maybe not important thing, or it shouldn't be important, but like I think it is. I'm glad like that we've advanced whatever, maybe it's all the preservatives or the microplastics, but like being able to age a little bit better is definitely appreciated.
Because he looks like Chris Christopherson. Sure enough, he does. Please welcome Charles Kosa. Charles?
Yeah, the video library. They had like, I think Chuck says at the beginning, they have like hundreds or thousands of tapes. Like, imagine all of those. Like all of the how goofy some of the interview tapes were, or the ones that were too weird to make it on the air. I know Chuck has said that people used to send in like, you know, videos of them naked, or of, you know, homemade porno videos. So did Bob Saget, said that happened with America's Funniest Home Videos a lot. Like, imagine just all the raw footage. I bet they just threw it away. I bet a lot of it's just like gone forever. Well, obviously they're not going to release the pornos, but I mean like the goofy interviews, you know, like the weird people that were maybe too, I'm sure there were people who came in and like they were like too maybe the risk of danger. They didn't want to send them out with anybody. Also, this guy's got the same suit on as Brother Love.
Hi, Chuck. How are you? You good? You really do. I was mentioning to you earlier that Chris is a friend of mine. You do look a lot like him. It's incredible. Yeah. You probably hear this all the time, don't you?
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible being a bartender. I hear it probably 10,000 times a year.
You get a lot of dates just because you look like Chris?
Well, yeah, I get to be selective, let's say.
The women, what do they do when they find out you're not? Obviously, some of them think you are in different places.
Obviously, yeah. People think I am, but the places I hang out aren't the places that Chris Christopherson hangs out.
Does it help?
Oh, definitely.
Look, I tell you what, we're going to show you a portion of the tapes that Charles saw, so watch closely because you're going to get to vote again, okay? First, there was Barbara. And she's from Chicago. She's a marathon walker who likes to eat, and she doesn't mind being alone sometimes.
I don't feel the need to be out with a man every single night of my life. I enjoy being by myself. I'm very selective, and when I like somebody, I like them a lot, and it's usually somebody very special that I can have long conversations with and do, you know, the things that I enjoy doing.
Are you seeing his reactions to her? Like, it doesn't look like he cares for her at all.
Next, there was Suzanne. Now, she's from Tennessee. She likes bicycle riding and long weekends, and here's something else that she likes.
I like hairy men, you know, with little hair, but I don't like hairy knuckles. I don't know why. It's just kind of a caveman type thing. It's almost like dirty feet, you know. But dirty feet, you know, if they're you know, construction worker or something, you know, Paul Newman could get away with them. He could get away with hairy knuckles.
You read a book that said Chris would partake in girls' mind control. If you really did read that book, tell me. I'd like to read that. Tell me what the title is.
You watch Denise now. She was raised in the Midwest.
He does have like a kind of a, well, maybe it's just because I've seen him in some movies where he played like that kind of a character really well, but he does play like a good like kind of backwoods, you know, hick cult leader type persona.
She's a bodybuilder who enjoys all sports, and here's the kind of men who turn her off.
Someone who talks to you but talks right through you, like they want to look at someone else while they're talking to you, or someone that talks about their old girlfriend or someone else, another female, you know, like you aren't even there.
Now, before we find out who Charles chose,
she does not appreciate the hot pass kink.
Let's take a look at all three of them again, okay? First, there was Barbara. She's a 33-year-old production coordinator. Then Suzanne, she's a credit analyst, and she's 27. Finally, Denise, she's a 27-year-old hairstylist. Okay, audience, it's time to vote again. Who do you think's the best lady for Charles here in the studio?
I mean, middle, right? It has to be middle. The other two just seem like complete duds.
At home, too, please make your choice right now, okay? We're going to find out who the audience chose in just a moment. First, let's find out who Charles chose, okay? You chose Suzanne.
I chose Suzanne.
All right. Now, on Love Connection, we always hear both sides of the story, and Suzanne's backstage. So let's welcome Suzanne Blackburn. Hi, Suzanne. Are you there? There she is. Suzanne, I'll get back to you in just a moment, honey, okay?
Okay.
All right. Why'd you choose Suzanne for obvious reasons?
I knew Suzanne was a good old gal as soon as I saw her, you know.
She's a bodybuilder. The last one, none of them really looked like bodybuilders.
And from Tennessee, and you know, I knew she was a good old gal.
All right, well, Charles
had the feeling.
Charles thinks you're a good old gal, Suzanne. What was your first impression of him, never seeing him before?
Well, I talked to him on the phone, and he was a really nice guy. He was really easy to talk to. I think we talked for about an hour.
All right, good. So you liked him?
Yes.
Yeah, liked him on the phone. What did you think of him when you first saw him?
The first time I saw him, I told him, "You look like Chris Christopherson."
Tell us about your date, Charles.
Well, let's see. First, I went to pick her up, and I had a sheet of stickers, you know, transfer.
Do you think that he uses that a lot to try to get pussy to be like, you know, you ever wanted to have sex with Chris Christopherson, the famous guy that did mind control on, on girls? Oh my God. I just can't imagine. I bet he did. I bet he did all the time.
Stickers, and I said, well, which one do you want? You know,
tried. I mean, tried. I don't know that he succeeded that much.
They said all kinds of things like, I love the Raiders, I love the Dodgers, I love this, I love that. And then she came to the one that said, I love you. That's the one she picked up. Ooh. This is okay. You got I love you. That's sweet. And I thought that was a real good getting off point right there.
You must have really liked him right off, huh?
Yeah, I did. Usually.
You can't go wrong with a good getting off point.
Some people you like, and right away I liked him. He was really nice. He was a gentleman through the whole date, and we had a really good time.
Southern girls, boy, they're so sweet. What happened next?
Then we drove out to Dodger Stadium, got our place to park, and I says, well, it's time for breakfast.
Went to ball game?
Sure, Dodger Stadium. So I got in the trunk and whipped out a bottle of champagne, and we had breakfast called Tailgate Party.
Well, what else happened, Suzanne?
Transformation of America. You read it too, Doug? I'll have to check it out. I like to read that kind of stuff. I like anything that's like weird, or even if it's not a conspiracy theory that like I'm invested in, I just like reading. I like to like see how people's minds work and how they interpret things.
Then?
Well, after a few drinks, it was hard to remember exactly. No, then we went.
Uh-oh, after she had a couple drinks with this guy, things got hard to remember. Mr. Bass.
And we got into a conversation with some gentlemen in front of us.
Oh, in case I forget, there's a new Mr. Bass documentary out by the guy who, if you're following the story, Mr. Bass attacked a guy and like hit him with a camera, a tripod thing. And this guy's been like following Mr. Bass everywhere. That guy's documentary came out, but I can't remember what it is. But if you look up Mr. Bass documentary, it's probably got to be one of the top replies.
Or rather, he did.
About what?
I don't remember.
And then she went to the bathroom one time, and the two ladies behind us in the row behind us, you know, they had their two little daughters, and they wanted to get their picture taken with me and sign their programs and all that stuff. So I obliged by signing my own name.
Oh, good.
Oh, boy. Wow. This guy, I get approached in public all the time, and I'm mistaken for somebody else, and I've turned it into my personality.
Then she came back, and I was trying to watch the ball game out of my left eye and listen to her talk in my right ear. And she talked quite a bit. Of course, I knew she would, because I knew she was a good old gal.
Suzanne, what happened then?
Well, then...
How was the ball game? Did you like the ball game?
I don't remember a lot of the ball
game.
But it was a lot of...
No one sued the writers for saying it. You know what I think part of that might be? Like, I'm not like debating whether anything is true or not. I haven't read it, but like, I wonder if like sometimes even if they were to acknowledge it, like especially stuff that maybe is like super hard to come up with hard evidence on, that like if they challenged it, then like just acknowledging it would make it like so much more credible. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Fun. Then we went back to my house and spent a couple hours.
Really? Want to tell us about that?
Well, we were both tired by the time we got back. And so we just kind of
dozed off there.
Yeah, just kind of lie down and take a little nap.
Yeah. How'd the date end? There?
It ended there, yeah.
They're probably just gathering evidence in Discord chats. Junk. They're just probably building their case.
After that, I went home shortly after that.
Fell asleep and woke up and...
Something like that.
You guys had a great time.
You got the right idea.
Right. I'm kind of anxious to see who the audience picked on. Let's see if they had his...
Yeah, what do they call that? Somebody was talking about that the other day, the Streisand effect, where when you point something out, it ends up drawing like way more attention than it would have ordinarily.
I'm anxious
taste,
too.
okay?
I'm anxious as well.
All right, let's take a look over here at the monitor and see. Big margin, 53% Suzanne.
All right.
Look at Suzanne.
Audience knows their stuff. All right.
Well, we picked up the tab for the first date. We'd like to pick up the tab for the second date if you'd like to take Suzanne out again.
Oh, I'd love to, Chuck. Thanks for offering.
Suzanne, is that okay with you?
Dude, you know you're not Chris, right? He's the impersonator. Yes, that's exactly what it is. What were we watching? Oh, the Elvis thing. Whenever people would come up to those Elvis impersonators, I think I was like asking like, I wonder if they sign their own name or do they sign Elvis? And like, at least in this guy's case, he said he signs his own name. He does not sign Chris Christopherson. So when those kids grow up, they're going to be like, who in the world's, you know, Alan Pocket Watch or whatever this guy's name is.
That's excellent with me.
Well, come on out here and join us on stage.
Dude, I bet this chick is wild though. This Chris Christopherson hit the Love Connection jackpot out of those three.
We haven't seen him for all this time.
Okay. You adjusted my time?
She has her emotional support stuffed animal with her.
You guys haven't seen each other for how long? How long has it been?
Almost
6, 8 weeks. Long time. It's been a while then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got anything to say to each other?
It's a souvenir of our ball game.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. I'll take that. Have anything to say to each other about anything?
Oh, I missed you.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's go out Saturday night.
Sounds great.
Do you think that he should mount her right on the Love Connection couch to exert dominance over Chuck Woolery, like to make sure that Chuck understands, like, you know, where the boundaries are?
Sounds good. Thank you very much for being on the show and sharing your day with us. We really appreciate it. Now, on a previous show, the studio audience selected a date for our next guest, and when we return, we're going to find out what happened on that date. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Woo! Bricked up. Was this before or after AIDS? It was after AIDS. But there were like ebbs and flows in like how bad it got. Like I know in the 90s, this is early 80s, so this would be before. But like Love Connection was on in the late 80s, but like in the 90s there was like a big uptick in HIV that like got really, really bad for a while. So I don't think these specific episodes were probably during like the height of AIDS or anything, since they're early 80s. But Love Connection and AIDS did cross over on the timeline. The threesome in the back of the limousine ending is hard to beat, yeah. I just could tell she just seemed like she'd be down for the DP, and it turned out that that was the case with the limo driver, though. I mean, that's. Do you think she still tipped him, or do you think that was his tip, so to speak?
Well, last week, our next guest agreed to let our studio audience choose his date. We're going to meet him again and find out what happened on the date right now, okay? He was raised in New York City. He claims that women either really love him or they really...
You have got to be shitting me. This guy is 38? Oh my gosh. Like this guy, I'm almost 10 years older than this right now than this guy is here. Like this is absolutely mind-blowing. Look at this hair. Oh my gosh.
really hate him. Please welcome Benny Richards.
He looks like he's the patriarch of like a gigantic Italian family with like 100 kids and grandkids, and he's 38. It's gotta be, it has to be a wig. I do not believe that's real hair.
Now before we find out about the date and everything, let's talk for a minute, okay? Last time you said you were a great boyfriend, a terrible husband. Explain that to me.
Okay. It all comes down to percentages. 0 for 2 in marriage.
Oh my God.
And 500 out of 1,000 approximately in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships.
500 out of 1,000.
Right. It's half good, half bad. The other part is...
You can hear the audience laughing just at his fucking hair. I know they're laughing at his hair.
All bad.
Last time you were on the show, we showed the audience tapes of 3 women.
Vinny the Gooch? Yeah, that's what he looks like.
And they chose one as your date. Karen Marie Bosenberg, I believe it was, right? Karen Marie Bosenberg. Now, you and Karen Marie went out, right?
In a way.
All I want out of this is for her to say something about his hair. Just anything about it at all.
What do you mean, in a way? How? What did you do?
It's easy. The way my life's been running, I had chosen a week ago for the audience to pick for me because, you know, I've been doing a lousy job lately, and I admit it. Now, it turns out that the audience did a worse job that I could have done.
So in other words, this guy cannot get, no women want anything to do with this guy, but he's not the problem. He just has bad luck and the audience has bad taste.
If I had concentrated. What happened? In a period of a week, I ran up $117 in the phone bill trying to reach her, but going back and forth. And when we finally did make a connection, she thought that it was a preliminary date, sort of like a tryout, where, in effect, it was the actual date.
Oh, now this is normally a time, by the way, when we would meet Karen Marie, but I've been told she's not here.
Oh my gosh, like, I watched this live, well, not live, but you know what I mean. I watched it when it aired when I was a kid, like pretty religiously. Like I watched it every day. This was a 5 days a week show. And I don't ever remember an instance where the other person just refused to show up. I did not pause this like this on purpose either. Scuffed Paul Sorvino. Exactly, Randy. Perfect. That's a look at this guy's fucking face. What a character. I can't believe that the date went so poorly that she was like, I'm not even, keep your money, Chuck Woolery. I don't even want to be around this guy. Last time I was around him, I got infested with black mold.
I think you better tell us, well, what happened? Why wouldn't she be here?
Oh my God, he whacked her. Hey, Chuck, she's sleeping with the fishes.
She said that if she did come on the show, that her boyfriend would kill her.
Oh, Jay. Have you ever been stood up before, man?
Millions of times.
Oh, millions of times.
Oh, wow. Well, that sucks. Have you ever been stood up before? Millions of times. What if he killed her? Oh my God. I've never seen anything like this on the show before.
So you're used to it by now.
What's the difference?
What happened with this person?
Okay. We met at a very, very nice restaurant. She ran in and looked completely unlike the videotape.
Was she cute?
She was cute. She was a little windblown, a little spacey.
Windblown? What do you mean windblown?
If you drive a '69 white Buick convertible, you get windblown. Oh. I thought it was a new hairdo. So she wanted to meet me in.
You know what though? By staying at home, even if she didn't want to, talk to this guy, the story of their date is completely defined by him. He's giving the entire narrative around the situation. So her story, we'll never know her side of the story. Thanks a lot, lady.
In order to see how our vibes were. And I told her, this is the date. This is it, man. Like this, we're going on a date. She said, well, I like you very much, but we'll have to have another date. This is like preliminaries. And, she asked me questions like, are you interested?
What's a preliminary date? Like you meet and go on like you have a fake date, a rehearsal date? Like, okay, well, when we had our rehearsal date, you brought this topic up at dinner and let's switch that over to this topic. And then You know, instead of putting the thumb up my ass when we get back to the place, you know, use your index finger. Like, what do you do on a rehearsal date? I don't even understand. I don't even understand what her thinking is here.
And getting married, and obviously she didn't know my biography. So she mentioned a very funny thing to me. She said that she usually went on longer dates than just a day or so. And for instance, her last date was 6.5 months.
What's your body count? Nobody talked about body count. Like when I was, even in the 90s when I was in high school, like nobody talked about it or cared. Like it just wasn't like a frequent topic of conversation. Unless you're saying body count because literally body count of the mobster on the episode.
She met a very lonely guy, and she went out with the guy, and it lasted 6.5 months. It's a long date. She was in trouble right then because I told her it's not going to be nearly like, you know, if she makes 6.5 hours of me, it's a miracle. Yeah, forget it.
Did you do anything to offend her?
No, I did absolutely nothing to offend her at all.
Did she remind you of either one of your ex-wives by any chance?
I was a perfect angel. And then she had the gall to tell me that Godfather 3 was an American classic.
My ex-wives were like geniuses compared to her. I don't know, they took away her aces, kings, queens. She never full deck. Maybe she had a couple of 8s, 7s. It was rough. It was a rough, another rough night for me. I see people that come out here, they're kissing, they're hugging, they're holding you.
It's just weird to me that this guy had to go back to his normal life after this, and like everybody saw him. This was like a nationally syndicated show. I wonder if like the people he worked with saw it, and I'm sure he told everybody like what day it was gonna air or something. Vinny the Gooch went alone in the restaurant in Little Italy and had eggplant parmesan and chicken cutlets. Yeah.
You, thank God. Oh, they're going to see each other again. I can't have it. If someone shows up, I have a conversation for 20 minutes, I light a candle. It's unbelievable. You light a candle? 2, 3 candles I'll light. It doesn't matter.
Oh, Jay, you had a tough time on this one, Vinny.
Always. This is my life here.
You know, Vinny, since your date didn't work out, I think it's only fair for us to offer you a date with another lady, okay? Is that okay with you?
At this particular point in my life, anything's okay, Chuck.
Hey, you got to give it to him. He's not giving up. I'll try to find if I'm thinking this one segues into the next one, but that's the way that the uploader made it seem like. But if not, I'll try to find out what happened to him, like I'm going to do with that other couple.
Let's take a look at the 2 that were left over, okay? One time. First, there was Becky. Now, she's divorced. She's 31 years old. Kind of cute. Next, there was Marcia. She's 37.
I'd go here. I think this is a better freak quotient than here. This looks like she'd be expecting a lot from Vinny the Gooch, and I don't think he can. I think he needs to go with the kind of this lady here that believes in astrology.
She's never been married. She's kind of cute, too. Would you like to go out with one of these ladies?
I'd like to go out with both. I'll start.
Wow, Chuck, quit creeping on the contestants. Jesus Christ, show some professionalism.
With the number 1.
So you're going to go out with Becky, right?
Right.
He should have been like, hey, you know what, Chuck? With the way my luck's going, bring on both of them broads.
We're going to pick up the tab for that. Again, we'll pick up the tab again. I want you to go out on a date. I hope you have a great time.
So do I.
And come back real soon and tell us what happened, okay?
I'll be back tomorrow night.
Watching Grace and Ben got me thinking of Love Connection. I can't remember what it was that made me think about it. I think I just saw some episodes when I was looking through like old, like I subscribe to a lot of channels that just upload random VHS tapes. So I think I saw some in there, and then I tried to find complete episodes that actually looked good.
That's our show for today. We're going to be back tomorrow with more singles trying to make a love connection. I'm Chuck Woolery, and I'm going to be right here.
These are the episodes, Junk, that I use to like mentally recover from my Thorpe TV coverage. This is like how I let my mind relax over the weekend to be ready for Monday.
On Love Connection will receive one of the following. Jovan Musk. Drop for drop, Jovan Musk has brought
Jovan Musk Oil.
together more men and women than any other fragrance in history. Try it today and see for yourself. Jovan Musk. Or a tote bag from Pan American World Airways. Across the country and around the world, serving 6 continents, 47 countries, and over 110 cities. Pan Am, you can't beat the experience. Or a versatile, full-valued 106-channel public service scan.
Oh my gosh, look at this radio, or what the hell is this thing? Wow. The woman wisely never showed up because she noticed him from the Gambino family. Yeah, she was at the post office with him and saw his wanted poster up on the wall.
Scanner Radio. Scan for the action with Regency. Or the wide receiver.
Oh, that was like a police scanner. Okay. Ooh, the UnoVac.
UnoVac's dual-purpose quart, unbreakable stainless steel thermos. Wide mouth for foods, narrow neck for beverages.
These were like the original. What are they called now? That are like really popular with women, like the Stanley cups.
Available with tote bags from UnoVac. This is Rod Roddy speaking for Love.
Rod Roddy. Okay, here's what's listed as episode 2, and that was at episode 1 supposedly.
Which one did she choose? Which one will our audience choose? And this is David, who says that women are easy to get along with, but hard to understand. Which one of these women did he choose? Which one will our audience choose? Today on Love Connection, you'll find...
I think my internet's hitching up a bit. Okay, I think we're good now. Yep, the originals. None of these companies lasted. Yeah, I wonder. It seems like Jovan would still be around, but maybe it's just a relevant brand because it was relevant when I was a kid. But maybe somebody bought that brand or something.
This is Trisha. She's been told she looks like Connie Stevens. We showed her videotapes of these 3 single men, and she picked one as her date. Which one did she choose? Which one will our audience choose? And this is David, who says that women are easy to get along with, but hard to understand. Which one of these women did he choose? Which one will our audience choose? Today on Love Connection, you'll find out who they picked, who the audience picked. This is Trish.
I don't know what's going on here. Oh my god. My internet is like goofing up. I feel like I'm in like a Groundhog Day loop here.
She's been told she looks like Connie Stevens. We showed her videotapes of these 3 single men, and she picked one as her date. Which one did she choose? Which one will our audience choose? And this is David, who says that women are easy to get along with, but hard to understand. Which one of these women did he choose? Which one will our audience choose? Today on Love Connection, you'll find out who they picked, who the audience picks, and everything that happened on their dates. Now, here to tell us more about Love Connection is our host, Chuck Woolery.
I feel like I just have no idea what happened there. I don't know why it goofed up like that. They continuously revolutionize things that hold liquid. Yep.
You know, there are more than 60 million single adults in the United States, so here on Love Connections, we've got a new way for singles to meet, and here's how it works. We've compiled a video library of hundreds of attractive and available single people. We then select some of those singles and show them 3 video tapes. After they watch the tapes, they choose the one they're most attracted to and go out on a date. Then they come here and tell us what happened on the date. Now, to begin with, we're going to meet a woman who selected a date from our video library. She was raised in Pittsburgh. She likes men who wear cologne and 3-piece suits. And she's
32? Excuse me? Like, no way. Like, this would totally be like a MILF in modern times. Like, this is oh my god. And wait a minute. Okay, so I may have made a mistake earlier because I assumed the gender of the limo driver was a male, so it was a spit roast, but actually it could have been Trisha, the limo driver, who was the 3rd in that limo scenario.
She says nothing embarrasses her. Please welcome Trisha Morris.
Tricia.
I'm really fine. How are you?
Fine. You sit down. Nothing?
Thank you.
Tricia, nothing embarrasses you?
Nothing embarrasses me, Chuck.
Now, you own a limousine service, is that right?
Yes, I do.
And you meet a lot of men through your work?
I meet a lot of men no matter what I do or where
sure
I
you
go. I do a lot of traveling also, so...
How did foreign men compare to American men?
Well,
Tell the
it was
truth
like
now.
this, Chuck.
Okay.
I couldn't wait until I got to Europe because, you know, you watch all these movies and, you know, you see about all this romance.
Sure, yeah.
The European men just
Yeah.
seems to have so much more savoir-faire,
Right.
right? Well, I want to tell you something. After being there and checking out the attitude and the consciousness of the European men, I'll take an American man any day.
What a girl. Based on Tricia's preferences, she was shown videotapes and questionnaires of 3 men. Now, we're going to show you
The audience is like super excited that she prefers American penis for some reason.
a portion of the tapes that she saw, and you in the audience and at home, too, watch very closely because we're going to ask you to pick the man that you think is best for Tricia, okay? So first there was David. David's from Northern California. He likes to sing, roller skate, and ski, and here's what else he likes.
I love my feet being massaged, and I love to share acupressure and talk, and I love to spend time on the beach doing things that are physical, intellectual.
There's next was Dwayne. He was raised in Africa. He has a brown belt in karate, and he...
Wait, what? What? Dwayne was raised in Africa? This is just wild to me that the ages of these people. He kind of looks like Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, or he did when he was in the smaller window.
Tells us what kind of women he likes.
Let's say the stereotype, real beautiful blonde with a perfect figure, you know, you're thinking about a 10. That's nice. I think the main thing is the girl's just attractive and, you know, attractive enough so that you aren't embarrassed to be with her.
They should have me on the show. I would be absolutely filthy. I would just be a complete degenerate.
And finally, you watched Warren. Now, he was raised in New York. He says he's not interested in anyone with children. Here's how he approaches.
Oh my God. What? 39 years old? How? That's just status. Oh, never mind. It's going to say never been married. It said status never been. Like he's never existed. He looking like a scuffed Bob Newhart kind of clothing buyer. Okay. I'm just going to say this. Whatever happens, I don't think this guy's going to end up married to this woman.
These women.
I'm very friendly. I'm very open. If I see someone I would like to meet, I like to approach them and talk about myself, talk about her, let her know that I find her attractive and interesting, and I'm single and would like to meet you.
Okay, now Tricia chose one of those men as her date. Before she tells us which one she chose, let's see all 3 of them again, okay? First there was David.
Wow.
He's a 41-year-old acupuncturist. And then Dwayne, he's a publisher, and he's 41 also. Finally, Warren, he's 39, and he's a clothing buyer. Okay, audience, time for your voting machines. You've met Tricia. You've seen her choices. Who do you think is best for Tricia? Here in the studio and at home, too. Please make your choice right now. Okay? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to find out who Tricia selected, and we're going to find out everything that happened on their date. You hang in there.
Like my personality type, if I were in the audience, I would agonize over who to vote for. And if I found out the date went poorly, or if I found out afterward that they did go out and the date went poorly, like it would ruin my whole evening.
In a little while, we're going to find out who...
Yes, a clothing buyer. Which I think is, if the way that kind of when we think of clothing buyer now, you might think of like a personal shopper, but I think he's actually probably working at like a department store or some kind of a store and ordering like the, you know, ordering the shit that goes on the shelves.
Who the audience picked, but right now we're going to find out who Tricia selected. Tricia, who did you select?
David.
David, she grabs. Okay, now what connections we get?
I mean, just being honest, like, and not judging or anything, but there are a lot of guys on here who are really don't have any more riz or social skills than the people we see on, you know, Grace's speed dating. In my opinion, like some of these guys I would completely see popping up and trying to go out on a date with, you know, Neve or something. Like some of these guys are pretty wild, or pretty strange.
Both sides of the story. We ask our couples not to speak to each other after their date, and we keep them apart so they'll be less inhibited about telling their story. Now, David is backstage. I want to say hello to David Nickel. Hey, David.
Wait, Dhananjay, you think people would troll and try to pick the worst person for it? I don't know that we were completely there as a society.
Hi, Chuck. How are you? Just fine. Yeah, David, I'm going to come back to you in just a second. Tricia, why did you pick David?
He has such fantastic energy. I'm talking about energy that where voices connect over the telephone. I mean, it was immediate.
Okay. I believe it. I mean, she's really... David?
I feel exactly the same way.
I could tell. I just had a feeling you were going to...
This might be too aged of a reference, but who this guy reminds me of is Doug Llewellyn, who was the court reporter outside the People's Court.
Let's say that. What was your first impression when you
First I was wandering around the airport. Okay,
What?
she paid for my way to Palm Springs. And I was wandering around the airport, and where is she? And all at once, this limo drove up, and there was this blonde, and I went, no, it can't be. She got out, and it was just like that. I couldn't keep my hands off her.
That's why I put him in the back of the limo.
Tell me about your date.
Well, as David already told you, I flew him to Palm Springs because I was doing a charity event there, tennis tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I flew him in, met him at the airport in the limousine.
I'd be the first person to ever say pussy on Love Connection. That would for sure have to happen.
Then we went to the tennis tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And just as we were getting out of the limo, David said to me, Tricia, I want you to know that I'm open to anyone being healed with my services. David's an acupuncturist. The MC of the tennis tournament was Ron Masak, and he's sitting there with a big bandage on his knees and crutches and so forth and so on. And David said, someone else said, David's here to heal you.
Did it work?
It worked. He's sitting there with needles up and down his legs, and David's doing his little acupressure, and it was wonderful. Well, within 2 minutes, like a magnet, all of the celebrities, all of the pros, one with a shoulder, one with a knee. David became kind of the star of the whole thing.
Now, what happened after this, though, after this whole thing?
Then they had a little party for us, and then
That sounds like it worked out pretty well for him. Like, that's kind of... she's definitely seeing that, like, wow, what this guy does has value. Like, people were interested in, like, what he was doing, and I think that probably definitely helped lubricate the situation.
It was time to go back to L.A., so I put him in the back of the limo with a basket of grapes and drove around Palm Springs a little bit, and then we headed back to L.A. And he was feeding me grapes on the way back because there was a little left over from the morning breakfast.
She was just so open and ready to experience some of the things that...
Now that's what I'm looking for. She's just open and ready to accept the experience. Isn't that how Ben described people that come and make content with them? That they have to get over that initial accommodation that your content...
I wanted to offer her while she was driving. You should try to feed someone grapes.
You guys.
You try to feed someone grapes that's driving a limo. You know, just come around and she. Wow, I had a little hard time getting my finger out of her mouth. That's okay. Chuck, I want you to know I'm having a hard time sitting back here waiting.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's get it over with. Let's find out who the audience picked. Okay, quickly. Let's right over here. Warren, with how many? What is it? 47.
Okay, Ananjay. I see what you mean. I think this had to have been a troll. There's no way 47% of people thought that the clothing buyer was a good fit for this lady.
7%, 47%. How disappointing.
Well, if you'd like to go out on a date with him, we'll pay for it. Otherwise, you know, you're on your own.
Yes. Of course, I got to say this to you. We'll pick up the tab if you want to go out with Warren.
Oh, no way.
You want to go with David?
I paid for Dates with David.
All right.
Yeah, David, get out here. She wants to see you now.
Come out and feed her some grapes.
There you go.
That's what you have to do if you want to be with Grace. You have to be willing to feed her grapes all the time.
Sit down here on the couch for a minute. Oh, nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, David. Yeah, well, good. Everything's going great for you, and even though the audience didn't pick you, I can see you guys are just really like each other.
Because of the love connection in her, I had a pro celebrity tournament this past weekend. I got another one coming up.
Good. We have a nice gift for both of you. Thank you very much for being on the show. It's been our pleasure. It really has.
It's been our pleasure.
Please let us know how your relationship develops. We'd like to know. Okay. All right. I tell you what, we're going to come right back with another.
Did you see that alpha move he pulled on Chuck Woolery? He was making sure that Chuck knew that, you know, that it was our pleasure, that both of them, you know, just making sure Chuck knew. Because look at this. Chuck trying to move in. He realizes a quality woman when he sees one.
Couple. I hope they're just as happy as this one. We'll do it. All right, we're back. This time, let's meet a man who chose a date from our videotape library. He was raised in Ohio. He says he loves a challenge, and he's taking his time about getting married.
Oh, my God. Rip.
Please welcome David Lawrence. Hi, David. Did I get the last name right? Right. Very good. Sit down here. Thank you. Why are you taking your time, David, about getting married?
Why
Just rush
not?
headlong into it.
Why not? You don't want to rush into anything. You want to have a little bit of fun first.
You said you like a challenge, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. What kind of a challenge?
Well, I like a woman who's actually intimidating, I think is a good word. I just like someone who can put it to me intellectually, which may be cliche, but someone that is a challenge that
based
that way, and someone that's very pretty, and just go after him and see what happens.
Either on a par or above.
On or above, yeah.
Okay.
Just stretch a little bit, learn
Now that
something.
we know a little bit about you, based on David's preferences, he was shown videotapes and questionnaires of 3 women. Now, we're going to show you a portion of the tapes that he saw, and you in the home audience and you here in the studio audience as well, watch very closely because we're going to ask you to pick the woman you think is best for David. But first, there was Joyce. Now, she was raised in Cleveland, and she's working on a master's degree, and she tells us about her hobby.
But when I lived in New York City, I dated 5 nights a week. It used to be a hobby.
Okay, I've got a couple problems with this fit. The pearls, I hate them. I hate the pearls. I don't understand the, like, I get if you want to have a corsage, but why is she wearing it, like, on her shoulder? I'm just not a fan of this look at all.
But I decided that I would really look to do more interesting things than just date. I like younger men because they're more
She's got kind of crazy eyes, though. That's kind of redeeming.
accepting. They're more aware of the new role of women. They treat you more like you're an individual.
Next, there was Penny. Now, she was raised in Chicago, says she's a typical Gemini. And
oh, my God. Penny, the typical Gemini. Is she in the armed forces? Looks like she's wearing like some kind of a naval uniform or something.
Here's how she approaches men.
I think
27. What? Penny is only 27.
By crazy, I just mean I'm not afraid to
She's 60. She's like 68 now, though.
talk to people. And I'm not really afraid of rejection, like going up and asking somebody to dance. If they say no, I say, what's wrong with you? You're lost. Goodbye.
And finally, you saw Sharon. Now, she's from Tennessee. She likes to travel. And here are some of her thoughts on the singles scene.
I got very tired of the club scene. It's fun sometimes. I enjoy it now and then, but not on a week-to-week basis or daily basis at all. I don't know. I find that so many people, I suppose for different reasons, are, well, they're lonely, and so they seek companionship. But at the same time, they're afraid of commitment because I think there's so much divorce and...
Now, David selected one of those women.
27 and divorced? Yeah. I noticed that.
As his date. Before he tells us who he chose, let's show you all 3 again, okay? First, there was Joyce. Now, she's a 32-year-old
He looks like he's a character on like a British sitcom where he works in like a department store or something.
educational consultant. And then there's Penny. She's a personnel manager, and she's 27. And finally, Sharon. She's 26 and works as a secretary. Okay, audience, it's time for your voting machines. Now, you've met David. You've heard a little about him. You've seen his choices. Who do you think is the best lady?
Chuck Woolery is still alive. He's a real big in the red pill space on Twitter, I think. But this weed's got me like real existential, and I'm just thinking like, man, all the Love Connection people are like, you know, they're aging out.
Lady for David. In a little while, we'll find out who the audience chose for David, but first, let's find out who he chose, okay? Who did you select, David?
I picked Sharon.
Sharon, interesting. Okay. Now, on Love Connection, we get both sides of the story, so we ask our couples not to see each other after their date, and we keep them apart so that they'll be less inhibited about telling their story. Sharon is backstage now, so let's say hello to Sharon Doss. Hi, Sharon. I'm going to come back and talk to you in just a minute. Let me ask David something, okay? David, why did you choose Sharon?
I liked her Tennessee accent, and I thought she was very attractive, and I felt a certain amount of chemistry for her. And basically was the reason.
Okay. Now, Sharon, you'd never seen David.
This is the guy they based Sheldon Cooper on.
David before. What was your first impression of him?
He was a very nice guy. You know, he had a nice personality. He laughed a lot, good sense of humor.
What happened on the date, David?
We went to the beach, to a nice ocean restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
And I wanted to park along the road there. And I didn't want to go in the lot because I was too cheap to pay the valet, you know.
Sharon, you want to add something to that?
Oh, well, I mean, they had valet parking, and I thought we might as well take advantage of it.
Okay, yeah, why not? All right.
Anyway, we went.
So you did the valet parking anyway?
Oh, yeah, I had to go in and give the guy $1. We went in, and they said it'll be about
People like boomers and shit will be like that, like autistic people that is like people being autistic is some like new phenomenon. Like this guy would definitely be at home on a Boyd speed dating panel.
You know, you got
doled out one heavy buck.
You gotta be sensible nowadays.
You went in, you had dinner.
Had dinner, yeah. She had lobster. I had a steak or something. And
excellent dinner.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Good dinner. Okay.
It was quite good.
What happened after? How much was it? How much was the dinner, by the way?
I don't know, around $50. She said she wanted. I wanted to get some wine. You know, just the type you drink with the guys that you. But she said California wine makes me break out in a rage. You know. Anyway, we talked. We had a good time in the restaurant. Talked, and the rapport was there, and she told me a little bit about her background. I told her some of mine, tried to keep out the sordid parts. If we want to get to the Late Show and see a movie. Okay. Anyway, we found it lucky. We found another parking place. I didn't have to pay there either. And,
we only went 2 blocks that time.
On here. Like this is a great segment. Wow.
Eludes 3 parking attendants. Sharon, how are things going at this point?
I'd say that's pretty much right. It was very cold in the theater, and I had worn a silk outfit that was, you know, I got kind of chilly, and David was nice enough to loan me his sweater, and I thought that was very nice.
Loaned you his sweater instead of his arm? Did he? Okay. How did your date end?
Well, I drove her home and found a parking place. It was kind of.
Did you have to pay for it?
No, didn't have to pay for it.
I love how every step of the way we had to learn about his parking situation, whether he paid or not, how much it would have been.
I was 2 for 3 and walked her up to her apartment on the 2nd floor and said she was a nice lady and kissed her goodnight, missed her mouth, and hit her cheek.
But listen, did you put your penis in her vajayjay?
You do the best you can, and it was a nice date.
I'm kind of interested to see who the audience picked. You want to see?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look over here and see who they have picked for you. They picked Sharon. Right.
After the parking space, did you make fucky fuck?
You take the audience's advice, we'll pick up the tab. We'll even give you some little extra maybe for parking.
Good. I would like that.
And you can take Sharon out again. Would you like that?
That would be fun.
Yeah. Sharon, how about you? Would you like to go out with David again?
Well, I like David as a person. I think he's a very nice guy. You know, it was a pleasant evening. I didn't feel the chemistry that David felt. I think we could be great.
I could have told you that at the beginning of this. She was just probably thought like, what in the fuck is going on here with this guy? Like he was funny and an interesting person, but like as a romantic partner for this lady, I just didn't see it.
Great friends, but I don't think that there is a romantic interest there.
Well, that's fair enough.
This is like Grace and Ken.
Listen, honey, thank you for being on Love Connection. We have a nice gift for you. Thank you for your candid responses, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye,
David,
David.
I'd like to thank you very much, too, and maybe you'll get...
Now, see, this is the 80s. She could just, I mean, it was brutal, right? But it was direct and it was honest. And he's just like, hey, thank you for being honest. Hey, listen, bud, thanks for coming on. Like, everybody's just got to be accountable for their own shit.
Fixed up again, who knows? On a previous show, the studio audience selected a date for our next guest, and when we come back, we're going to find out what happened on that date. Stay with us. A while back, our next guest agreed to let our studio audience choose her date for her. Let's meet her again and find out what happened on that date, okay? She was raised in Wabash, Indiana.
Like, I mean, I think he seemed to have some, like, autistic qualities, and people didn't know. There wasn't nearly as much, like, widespread information back then, and she just might have felt like that he was a nice guy and everything, but like you can tell that there's just something that's a little bit like quirky about him, and she just might not have felt like uncomfortable about an intimate relationship with somebody that like maybe she thought of as being, you know, having some mental impairments.
Says she loves to spend money. Please welcome Carolyn Castillo.
This lady looks straight up like B. Arthur on Golden Girls.
Hey, Carolyn. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Tell me. Well, before we hear you about your date, what do you mean you like to spend money? What is that?
Well, doesn't every woman like to spend money?
Well, I guess everybody likes to spend money. What do you like to spend money on?
Fun things.
Like?
Artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Trips.
Yeah?
Yeah, big thing.
She spent $400,000 sugaring women because she was tired of Arkansas 8s and wanted some LA 10s.
Big
Big stuff.
Big spend.
Now, the last time you were here, we showed the audience tapes of 3 men, and they chose Dennis, or you chose. Or no, they chose. That's right. They chose Dennis Berg as your date. And you and Dennis went out, right?
That's right.
Okay. How'd it go?
Well, it was great.
Well, before you tell me all about it, Dennis is backstage.
Yes.
Let's bring him on the television here, okay?
Okay.
Dennis, are you back there?
I sure am, Chuck.
Oh,
How you doing? Just great, thank you.
Oh, what? That looks like Bert Convy. Wow. What an interesting ensemble of hairstyles we've seen in these episodes.
Good. Well, you're the gentleman our audience picked for Carolyn. What was your first impression of her?
Very good. I mean, very attractive lady. Just
pretty, isn't she?
Very nice, and appealed to me right away. It doesn't take me long. If I see someone that appeals to me, it clicks right away.
Good, good. Okay, now, Carolyn, spill the beans.
Okay.
What happened on the date?
All right, well, first of all, as I said, I wanted to create an atmosphere of total elegance and class and, you know, great date.
Really?
So I hired a limo. Okay? So
Wow. What's with all these women renting limousines?
he came to the door. The limo was there waiting for us. We get in the car. The driver takes off. We're trying not to spill the wine on each other, you know, and the first thing out of his mouth is, I can't believe how much you look like my first wife. And I went,
Sorry about
you know, I said,
Was helmet an actual style? That is like, yeah, the guy earlier had a helmet-esque hair. This is like, he looks like he's working on the Death Star. Like he's got an Imperial helmet.
you know, you could have gone all night without saying it. I didn't know if it was good, if it was bad, you know.
It was good.
Because I didn't know how to read that one, you know. It says, okay, moving right along, you know, let's have some more wine. Anyway, so we went down to the beach to a very elegant restaurant, had a wonderful meal. It was just very, Dennis is an excellent conversationalist.
I thought you were going to say he's an excellent eater.
I'm that too. I do that too.
I know, I'm off on another.
This girl would be really validating because she's the kind of girl who would laugh at like all of your jokes, even if they weren't funny.
Yes,
Yeah, what happened then?
oh, we ordered wine, and we just had a very, very nice time.
Nice.
And took the coast route home. Well, when we got to the door, when we got home, the chauffeur turned around and it, like in a cab, oh, that'll be a, you know, X number of dollars, lady. Well, I was really embarrassed. I really was. And I was angry because I wanted this to be very nice. So I said to Dennis, do you mind getting out of the car?
You made him get out of the car.
I made him
Yes,
get out
you
of the car.
did.
And I let the chauffeur have, I mean, cut him off at the
Dressed him
kneecap.
down.
Oh, no. I packed him up and put him away.
Cut him off.
Yeah,
Wow. Gee, I think that's pretty strong.
Well, I was just very upset because I thought it was a very
Do you think he felt like how do you think that made him feel? That there was an issue with the service and she told him like not only she was going to handle it, but that like asked him to get out of the vehicle so that she could handle it privately. Like, I wonder how he took that.
tacky end to an otherwise
So you
very,
got him
very
straightened
nice.
out then?
Yes, right.
How'd
So
the date end then?
we went inside and we had Grand Marnier and sat and got comfortable. And I mean, I faded. He said, I know you have a big drive ahead of you. I know it's a long ways. I said, if you would like to crash here on my couch, that's fine. But I said, I have to go to bed. So he says, oh, I appreciate it. He was very much of a gentleman. He says, no, I can make it home. I'm fine. So that was the end of the evening. It was great.
I had other thoughts, but at least she offered me her couch. It could have been worse. You could have said sleep in your car.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So instead of taking it like, oh, she's kind of opening the door for me, right? She's offering me a place to stay, and if I'm there overnight, then, you never know what could happen. Instead of that, he's like, I wanted the guaranteed smash, but, she could have said sleep in your car.
Yeah, so you made it home. Now, I got to tell you something. You guys sound like you had a wonderful time.
We really did.
Date.
She's terrific.
Yes.
Carolyn, since you were such a good sport and you let the audience choose your date for you, if you'd like to go out with Dennis again.
She's definitely a lush. She does have kind of a little bit of lush vibes. I think she would be she seems like the kind of woman that like really gasses her dude up a lot.
Again, we'd like to pick up the tab for another date.
Like cheerleader kind of vibes.
Like to do that?
Thank you. That'd be very nice.
Yeah, Dennis, is that okay with you?
That's just fine with me.
Why don't you come out and join us on stage, Dennis?
I was hoping he would come out and be like 4 foot tall. I don't know. Well, we're getting deep into the stream, so I'm starting to get weed brained.
All right, now I only have one instruction for you since we're picking up the tab for this. I feel like now you cannot go to sleep this next time. Okay?
She didn't exactly go to sleep.
She didn't go to sleep?
No, she tried to. I kept her up. But,
Kept slapping me.
This is a nice gift for both of you.
Ooh, wow.
Thank you very much for being on Love Connection. Maybe we'll see you again, huh?
You will.
Yeah, well, listen, that's our show for today. We're going to be back tomorrow with more singles trying to make a love connection. I'm Chuck Woolery, and I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Oh, I want to see the advertiser at the end of this, but we got one more episode. It's of a different show, but it was just kind of something I couldn't fit anywhere else, so I figured I'd tack it onto this one.
Some guests on Love Connection will receive one of the following. Jovan Musk. Drop for drop, Jovan Musk has brought together more men and women than any other fragrance in history. Try it today and see for yourself. Jovan Musk. Or a tote bag from Pan American World Airways. Across the country and around the world, serving 6 continents, 47 countries, and over 110 cities. Pan Am, you can't beat the experience. Or a versatile, full-valued 106-channel public service scan.
Those are kind of the same ones. Okay, so this last episode is of a show called Win, Lose, or Draw, which was like a celebrity version of Pictionary. And they would get like all types of different celebrities that would come on and like guest star and stuff. And they draw pictures. And I wouldn't want to do a whole episode of them. I don't think it's quite as entertaining as Love Connection, but I do want like at least some record of it in one of my streams. So I found a complete episode, and what I think I talked about this at the beginning of this stream, but this has all of the local Texas affiliate commercials in it too, which I think those are always interesting. So this is Win, Lose, or Draw from 1988.
My wife's been telling me how busy she is with Mervyn's Valentine's Day fine jewelry sale, how she spends the day helping people find that perfect gift, and what beautiful diamonds and 14-karat gold Mervyn's has for 50% off, how everyone gets a free onyx jewelry set with their purchase. All week she's been telling me. Now, don't you think I got the hint?
Come to the 1988 Boat Sport and RV Show, featuring new boats of all kinds, campers, RVs, scuba equipment, canoes, sailboats, ATVs, fishing and camping gear, resort properties, free fishing seminars, and door prizes. If you have
Game shows were so popular. Yeah, like there was an afternoon block of game shows that were just like every single one of them was like, it was like a all-star lineup of shows, of game shows.
Ever wanted to boat a recreational vehicle? This is the time to buy. The dealers offer the best bargains of the year with special financing and one-of-a-kind specials. That's the 1988 Boat Sport and RV Show, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Ector County Coliseum.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner. At Channel 9, we'd like to...
OPC Don was at the boat RV and boat show. This was 88. How old is OPC Don? He's in his 50s. It's possible.
to help you tell the whole Permian Basin how you feel about that special someone. Send us your heartfelt message of love and we'll put it on the air. Start with your sweetheart's first name only and use 15 words or less. Then, during Valentine's Week, we'll broadcast those special love lines during Channel 9 News at 10. Send your message to 9 Love Lines, Box 6699. Then cuddle up with that special person and surprise them during Channel 9 News at 10.
Magnum. Don't miss the action Saturday night at 6 here on Channel 9.
Welcome to the quick draw game that everyone can play. It's win, lose, or draw. Come on in and join our host, Bert Convey.
Hello there. How you?
And also, I'm sorry, this is such terrible quality, but I wanted a complete episode with all the commercials, and unfortunately, this was pretty much the best one I could find. But if you could see this guy, and if there was any resolution at all, the host of the show actually looks pretty close to the way the hair helmet guy on Love Connection looks.
Sit down. Sit down.
Sit down.
With Bert's guest, the gorgeous housekeeper of the hit series, We Got It Made, in her black leather outfit, the lovely Terry Copley. And celebrated fashion model, two-time Emmy nominee and wonderful artiste, Susan Blakely. And funny man, stand-up comedian, Star Search Best Comedian of the Year, Mr. Brad Garrett. And Atlantic City's Entertainer of the Year with 7 top 10 hits to his name.
Is that Rick Casey? That terrible wrestler guy that I hated from yesterday.
Mr. Yellow Ribbon round the old oak tree, Mr. Tony Orlando.
Oh, wow.
And there he is, our oak tree of our show, Mr. Bert Convey.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bob. Thank you all, and welcome to our show. If you've been watching Win, Lose, or Draw lately, you know that these four are terrific. I mean, they're really good, really tough. And Terry Copley keeps getting up here and saying, oh, I can't do it, and gets in about 4 seconds. And I think, Susan, you're probably as good a player as we've had. And you know that Brad, the last time, got 9 words in the end game. That's the record. So the only other person who's ever got 9 words was Jill St. John, and Lonnie Anderson has done it twice. So you're right up there with the best.
Ooh, Lonnie Anderson.
What's that? You didn't get 10 words in the end game? No, you didn't.
Did we get 8? Did the guy?
8. You
Whoever that Terry person is looks like she likes to party.
got 8, yes, I think.
Oh, they needed, I see.
Yeah, but they needed 10 to win, that's
well,
right.
hush my
Now,
little mouth.
the last person we come to is Tony Orlando, who has sung Tie a Yellow Ribbon better on this show than anybody else who's ever sung it on this show. Much better. I say that. I mean, I have to be fair. Nobody has ever sung it any better than you. You're playing well, too, as a matter of fact.
I'm enjoying it. I tell you, this is the most fun, and I mean this. I have not enjoyed doing a television show as much as I've enjoyed doing this show.
That's nice. It's been a ball. Okay. We have some contestants waiting desperately to get on with it. So, Joanne, welcome and tell us about yourself.
Yes, my name is Joanne Collins, and I have 4 grown daughters
and I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm a professional clown.
All right.
Wait, what? That kind of took a turn. She's like, I'm a whatever, I'm a mom of 4, live in whatever, and I'm a professional clown. I didn't see that coming.
Nice to meet you. Here's Wes. Wes, please, sir, tell
My
us.
name is Wes Carroll. I'm from Long Beach, California, and I'm a newlywed. I married an identical twin.
All right, Wes. Tony, okay. You know how we played? We tossed the coin to be in the show. The men won, and Tony Orlando won. I mean, the men won. Tony, come on up here and lead us off.
All right, Tony.
Come sit right over here, you cutie.
Okay. Who was booing over there? The ladies are booing you already? What a rough crowd.
rough crowd.
You know, this is very interesting. Yes. A little leather there. Very nice. Yes, a snappy dresser. How did you start singing? How did this all happen for you?
You don't really want. I mean, this is. You sure?
Yeah.
I start. Well, you see, it goes back.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe we don't go that far back.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, I just
Does she do whiteface? I mean, I assume so.
started out with a dream, like anybody else in this business, and without it, you just don't have any reality. You know that yourself.
Yeah.
So you start out with a dream, you go for it. Oh, cut it out. Yeah. You go for it. You go for it. I was 16 years old, had my first erect.
This Jungle Sunset weed is fantastic. I wish now I would have gotten an 8th, but it's still really good.
In 1961.
Which was?
A song called Halfway to Paradise.
Yeah.
Written by Carole King and Jerry Goffin.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a hit record until 10 years after that, 1970, which was Candida.
Oh, which is the best.
Selma Hopkins. And then 73
Shut up and draw, Tony.
came Tie Yellow Ribbon, which gave us a television show that we had in this studio for 4 years. And here I am with the highlight of the career, right here on Win, Lose, or Draw.
What a guy.
That's the bio, right there.
I think my favorite video is also knock 3 times on the seat. Oh.
He's dying to sing.
No, I just love that song. He had work. He had work to do.
Now wait. Now you had what they were. Wait a second! I know it's your audience, but do they know that you had a hit record too?
No, they probably don't know that. No.
But there are some people.
Junk, are you going to boycott my stream for platforming a whiteface performer?
Out there who will remember that hit record. I want to hear you sing it.
Okay. We have other things to do.
Black leather jacket.
Black denim trousers and motorcycle boots.
Black leather jacket,
It was
motorcycle
a long
boots.
time ago.
Come on, give me a half.
Okay, I had a rock and roll group called the Cheers. And we had a hit record with a song called He Wore Black Denim Trousers and Motorcycle Boots and a Black Leather Jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hot popsicle that took off like a gun. That fool was the terror of Highway 101.
Show's kind of like if you got the least interesting people you knew together and just filmed them.
I did it to you. It's only fair. Turn about. All right, here you go. Let's play, shall we? You're playing for Wes, as you know. This is a famous movie. A famous movie. You got a minute to do it. Here you go. Ready and go. Come on. Go, you only got a minute.
Okay, this is easy enough, right? You just want to do a train track, like 2-line train track, then do the train, and then show like somebody, you know, coming out of the train. That's what I'd do.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Box train. It's a car. It's a train.
Streetcar named Desire.
Train is in the title.
Runaway Train.
Good guess.
Murder on the Orient Express. Train.
Oh, train's in the title.
Train.
Midnight Train to Georgia.
He needs to make somebody like jumping off the train.
Train.
Throw Mama from the train.
That's it.
Perfect.
You guys are a great team. You didn't forget it. You know how I do it. I had nothing to do with that. You know how I do? You know how I do? That looks like my mama. No. So I do. How I do. I don't understand that.
How did you know how his mama looked? I don't know how you got that.
I don't get
He's
it.
a man who didn't have any idea how you were going to get that. All right, but you did. You got $200 for Wes. Here comes Susan Blakely for the ladies. Come on. Okay.
I never imagined when I was a kid that one day I would be grown up and live streaming myself doing drugs, watching Win, Lose, or Draw.
Seen that movie and I didn't get it.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was good.
That was terrific, actually. Thank you. You got stuck when it came to the part of throwing, didn't you? All right, take a look at this one. This also is a famous movie. Are you ready?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. No way. Throw Mama from the Train is relatively easy. Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. I don't really know how well known that movie was at the time, though. Like, you'd have to make it something about, like, swinging. Like, maybe draw two couples and then, like, an arrow with the women trading places.
One thing. And you can do
Well, you will. Here we go. Ready, and go.
You can do it.
You can't pass now. Come on, it's the clock
You can
started.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Christmas tree to heaven. Christmas tree. Merry Christmas, baby.
Is it Christmas tree?
Yes, it's Christmas tree. And the Drover trees. And Christmas
carolers.
Carol.
White Christmas.
Carol is in the word.
Okay, so she went with, like, Christmas Carol. She's doing it word by word. I was going for it, like, in one thing. Okay.
Carol. Clever.
Carol Lawrence.
Carol.
Merry Christmas.
That's
Christmas
okay.
Eve. New Year's Eve. Miracle on Christmas.
Sounds
Miracle
like
on Christmas.
Junior.
If
you want to.
Sounds like a spaceship. A cup. A plate, a pot.
Chinese Christmas.
Shoot the Christmas.
No, what is it?
A gun, a shot.
I tell you one thing, with the just based off the quality of her guesses here, she's definitely a good clown.
Kill, dead.
Too late now.
Christmas in heaven.
All right, now wait a minute. Now hold on a second. $200 they can steal. Steal it, fellas. It's worth $200. Wes, what do you think your team says? What it is?
Bob, Carol, Ted, and Alice.
That's right.
Wow, the women felted.
They're all furious. We'll be back in a moment. They're stunned. See you in a moment. Round two coming up.
Oh, hi, Harold. Mom's staying over.
She can't stay in the living room. How about
a mushroom?
Presenting Magic Mushroom, the long-lasting air freshener.
Oh, wow. Magic Mushroom. That's like a huge... Wow. And look, all the, like, mushroom shit is, like, kind of coming back into vogue now on social media. This is so bizarre. I completely forgot about Magic Mushroom.
So cute.
But it works as good as it looks for over a month.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Only Magic Mushroom has the centimeter system to meter the scent, so it's equally effective every day for over a month.
It's cute, but it works as good as it looks for over a month. Believe me. Believe her.
Magic Mushroom, the long-lasting air freshener from Airwick.
It's the right place at the right time when the right day is a state of mind.
Hell yeah. South to West would be... He would love this shit.
It's a feeling that's all around. The silver bullet walks slowly down. So come on into Coors Light. It's the right beer now. To the good life, yeah. Good life, yeah. So come on into Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
When William Tell shot the apple off his son's head, he did it with precision and confidence. At Apple Chiropractic Clinics, they've brought chiropractic care to the 80s with precision.
Look at this ad. Oh my God. Here at Apple
Precision and confidence. At Apple, each qualified doctor has 6 or more years of college and modern chiropractic training to assure you of safe, effective results without surgery or drugs. If you have headaches, back pain, stiffness of neck, painful joints, or numbness, come in for a free spinal examination. Apple Chiropractic Clinics, 2000 West Wall and 2217 North Big Spring Highway.
We review Sidney Poitier's first film as an actor in 10 years, the thriller Shoot to Kill.
You will be acting under my authority, under my orders. Questions so far?
And we'll also review an erotic new film, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, from the director of The Right Stuff.
He's jealous.
No, he isn't. Who's he? That's this week.
I haven't seen the Sidney Poitier movie, but I have seen The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and it's definitely worth checking out if you like art house, kind of indie type cinema.
Oh, you're jealous.
On Siskel and Ebert.
Sunday at 11 here on Channel 9.
So what you did is perfect. Okay, we're back. We're back. We were all saying that really Susan did the best clue, because once you got Carol, that's where you got it from. When you heard Carol, you knew it was a famous movie. And then Rob said, you know, you could have put 4 people in a bathtub. I think I guess they were in a tub. Were they in a hot tub? Oh, in a bed.
Yeah.
In
the bed. Were they? Yeah. Mercy, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do that,
years ago. I didn't know that.
Okay, this is round 2, as you know, can be absolutely anything at all. It's still worth $200, and we'll talk to Brad Garrett now. Come on, Brad.
I have had a lot of fun all week, and
I wonder how much money he made from Everybody Loves Raymond. Like, that was such a huge show. Like, I bet he made like a fucking fortune off that show.
Thank you. This has been really...
Well, it's been great to have...
And it airs like syndicated still even now, like all those residual checks, gee, all that passive income.
Have you? I hope you'll come back again.
I would love to, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
In that case, we'll just build the setup a little higher.
Sure, yeah, we'll get like adult-sized furniture.
What do you do about a bed? You have to have a specially made bed, don't you?
Especially made bed. God, I sound like the Elephant Man a little bit, don't I? I'm only a comedian. No, well, actually, it's a California king. I have just enough room.
Yeah, really.
Just enough room.
Don't your feet hook over the end of it?
Sometimes. But other things like, you know, drinking fountains, I mean, you know.
Oh, forget about it. What do you do?
It would be a bidet, you know, seriously. I mean, it's just, bidet, let me tell you bidet. No, okay. But some things are
What about a car? You have to have you drive a truck? What do you drive?
Actually, it's funny. A friend gave me a ride home in a Toyota.
This small talk, for some reason, on all these shows, like the first time you go up, or when first time they talk to contestants, they'll do this small talk, and it's always so awkward and forced. And I never really understood who it was for, but like at least now I can kind of appreciate it for its like, just for its like weirdness and just like awkward, like cringeness. Doug says Brad Garrett was a Chad back then. I'm trying to think of like what he was, like what projects he was doing around this time. Maybe they'll say.
My head was sticking through the sunroof. I looked like a Fisher-Price toy going down the road there. You know, it was like, look at the Rainbow Bright, everybody. Rainbow Bright. Okay. Right. Good lead-in, though. Thank you. Good lead-in.
Yeah, you're welcome. $400 is what Wes has so far, so you're doing very well. And I want you to take a look. Let's show everybody at home what this one is, okay? Take a look at this one. This can be anything, absolutely anything. Okay?
What? This seems like it would be really difficult, but it isn't. If you can get any part of it together, like if you can get like a phrase out of it, like even if you could just get 4 score, most people are going to rattle that off, like, because that's what they think of with 4 score. So it looks difficult, but it actually, I think, could be really easy.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready? There it is, sir.
Oh, no.
Come on.
No. I can't even read that.
Yes, you can. You can do it.
Okay.
This is easy for you, all right? Ready, and go.
It's a man. It's a woman. It's a nose. It's a snowflake. It's a hat. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln.
Uh-huh.
A president.
John.
Uh-huh.
A speech. An orator.
4 score and 20. 4 score and 20. 4 score.
You're blaming your latest tech problems on OPC Don. He's clearly able to kind of send out these. You know how the Wicked Witch had like the flying monkeys? OPC Don has like black mold particles that are sifting throughout the atmosphere and going after his enemies, and maybe they got inside of your computer.
20 years ago.
Scoring 20 years ago. What is it called?
I don't know.
Come on.
Scoring 20
years ago.
Keep going.
Oh my God.
What? I don't know. What scored? 20 years ago.
Our forefathers said.
Go, baby, go.
Then I don't know.
Our forefathers said.
Well, give us USA.
Give us, all right, yes, we'll take it. That's taken out.
I was absent that day, Dave. I was absent that day.
Your mind, oh my God. No, we didn't have to get the whole thing, but we put the whole thing on there because I thought it was kind of fun to...
Hey, Richard, did you see that Hurricane Paro is feuding with Spicoli? He really felt insulted that Spicoli kept cutting him off, and now he keeps repeating this catchphrase of like, hey, you know, talk a lot Coley. Like, talk a lot Coley. It's like the worst burn. But yeah, he's feuding with Spicoli, and then they tried to get him to come into the Discord last night, but he wouldn't come in. Not without talk a lot Coley, he said.
The dude, look at the way his card looked.
You want to put me in a coma.
How poor Brad looked. Of course, the audience saw it all too, and I knew.
I don't remember if it was the last stream or the one before it, but Grace did a really funny impersonation of Hurricane Paro on her stream that was really, really funny.
You couldn't see it. You say the whole card? No, I really did. Now, all you had to do was get the first part of it, which you did very nicely too. Okay. Come on.
Sex cringe Coley.
Actually, it was worth doing that one just to see the look on Brad's face when he took one look at that. Oh, that was great. I had a feeling you'd get it though. I really did. Once you got the beginning part, you were fine. Okay, this was nothing like that. This has a lot less words in it. You're gonna like this one. Show everybody at home what this is, and then you'll take a look, and off we go. Are you?
Okay, all right, yeah. They're gonna give this to like the hot chick on the celebrity panel.
Ready? All right. Okay, here you go. Ready and go.
Okay, it's a man.
Person,
it's
no,
a,
don't,
yes.
Don't, that's correct.
Don't eat the
run.
roses,
don't sneeze, don't hear, don't speak.
Careful.
Don't speak, don't speak when you're talking to. Speak only when you're talking to.
Did we say talk?
Don't talk
to
is correct.
strangers. Don't talk,
so take the mouthful.
That's it.
I like it whenever you're talking about how Spicoli's always being sexual. I like it whenever he gets serious for a second, whenever someone's like interrupting him and he's like, excuse me. If I could just make my point, would you let me put my tongue in your vajayjay? But like before he says it, he's like completely serious. Like, I need the floor. I need the floor.
You've done it again. And fast, too. That was sent in by Sylvia Sanders from Myra, Louisiana. Thank you, Sylvia. We'll autograph this and send it to you. It's time for Wes Carroll to come up. Come on, Wes. Let me see what I've got for you here. All right, this is yours. I have it. Yes. Okay, you all set to go? Wes, you're a newlywed.
Yes.
That's right.
I just married an identical twin in a double wedding ceremony.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a twin too?
No, my wife has a twin.
So who got married? You married a twin.
Right.
And her twin got married to someone else.
Exactly.
I see. I got it. How long have you been married?
About 5 months.
5 months, really? Well, thank you for taking time out to be with us. Take a look at this. We'll show everybody at home what the answer is. You have $200. You got a minute, ready, and go.
Smell a rat? That wouldn't be too hard. You just do a nose, and then if you could do the rat, then you'd have like smell rat, smell a rat. They'd probably just say, I smell a rat.
Nose, mouth, person, profile. Up your nose with smoke. No. Patch it.
Mouse.
Cleaver.
Mouse. Mice. Mice and men.
Mice and men. That was a good one.
Mice.
Mousetrap. Mouse and cheese.
That's exactly what I was thinking. If they said mouse, make a bigger one so they get rat. So I think he's doing a good job.
Mice and cheese.
I smell a rat.
Yes.
That's
yes.
it.
There you go.
Way to go.
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Okay, here comes Joanne. Come on, Joanne.
All right, Joanne, let's see how you perform under pressure. We got a professional clown up at the easel.
You left-handed? All right, grab yourself a marker there. Take one of these.
She should have done a tumble like Willy Wonka and then squirted Bert Convy with a flower.
Here then, if you'd like, right there. Okay, Wes has $800 and you have $200, so you need to play catch up. And if you're ready to go, this is it. You all set? Here we go.
Right.
1 minute, first $200. Ready, and
pink.
go.
Pink.
Pink is in. The pink is in it.
Pink circle, pink smile, pink man, pink happy. Smile, mouth, laugh, laughing, crying, slobbering. Sounds like. Yeah. Teeth. What are those? No. Spots on a what?
Sounds like, what is that? What?
Hamburger. Pickle.
Pink is in
Pickle.
the
Sounds
word.
like pickle. Sounds like pickle. Sounds like pickle. Pink Rickle.
All right. Want to pass on? Want to pass?
Here, pink. Pink.
You're passing. Uh-oh. Hurry up.
Sounds like pickle, rickle, riddle. Person, laughing, crying, laughing,
Careful
yelling,
now, careful.
laughing, giggle.
Pink is up
wriggle.
there, you know. Pink is on it.
Yeah. Pink giggle. Pink girdle.
All right, too bad. Don't say another word. Now, you can steal $100, Wes. What does your team think it is?
Pickled pink.
That's it. Pickled pink.
Dude, the guys are dominating this game today.
All right, we'll be back with a speed round in just a moment. Don't go away. See you in a second. Pickled pink. Isn't that funny?
I'm Dr. Little. I'm here to say all of us are yours the easy way. Furniture and appliances to suit your style. Tried by the doctor to make you smile. Stereo, television, VCR too. I know I've got the medicine just up for you. With 99 cents come in today. Delivered to your house the motorized way. Low weekly payments for yours to own. Now service charges that'll cut to the bone. With all our assistance, you get no fuss. You got what you need at Reynolds R Us.
Reynolds R Us, 421 Andrews Highway, Midland.
That's why I want the versions with the local commercials. That's Keno. That's amazing. It's a 30 seconds of just chaos that probably I would have never seen if I hadn't sat through the rest of these kind of boring commercials.
It's a special person. It's someone you trust. It's someone who cares.
A friend is someone you want to turn to share some good news.
It's the first person you turn to when you have a problem.
Because a friend is someone you listen to.
Be a friend.
Hey, listen, can we book some time on our local news station? I'd like to do a commercial and just remind everybody what a friend is.
Friend, a real friend. If you know someone who's using drugs or thinking about using drugs, help that person say no.
Help someone say no to drugs and alcohol.
What disgusting people these are.
And yes to a whole lot more.
You'll be a friend for life.
Wow, what a tease. We sit through a whole batch of commercials, now we got to go through a whole nother set.
Attention, Keebler. I'm looking for a few good cookies.
Oh man, the OG Ernie
You love our E.L. Fudge sandwich cookies.
They're shaped like elves. Don't you guys take cookie making seriously?
Yes, sir, very seriously.
Present fudge about face. Excellent. Carry on, Keebler.
As you were, fellas.
Keebler E.L. Fudge. 3 delicious sandwich cookies in elf shapes.
Fun shapes.
Unfortunately, when you do watch these, there are very few local commercials because the national affiliate would get most of the ad space. So it's like only one or two every once in a while. But I still think it's worth it because they're normally just so good. Was this actually what TV was like back? Literally, dude, this is what it would exactly what you would have experienced if you watched this show and you were in I think Central Texas in 1988.
When your coffee's smooth and easy, like Sunday morning, and it tastes your way.
It's necessarily Nescafe, great coffee blends to taste your way.
There we go. We've got at least one company that's still around. Nescafe is still around.
That's necessarily Nescafe.
Okay, here we go. Speed round. Joanne has $200. Wes has $900. The team that's in the lead goes first. So who's that going to be for you, Wes? Mr. Brad Garrett. Why not? Come on, Brad. I'm going to give it
I mean, I even saw, I experienced this firsthand back then, but you're right, it is. It's so just fundamentally different how products were marketed, how shows, the pacing of shows, the amount of ads also, but I just think the way advertising was delivered is so different now. And a lot of it is does have kind of a ethereal, weird vibe to it.
All right, Brad, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
You got a minute and a half, $100 for each correct one. Don't forget you have 2 passes. You're all set. Here you go. Ready and go.
A man, a woman, a house, a mountain.
Mount.
Sun rising.
Sunrise is it. We'll take it. $1,000.
It's a hat. It's a spoon. It's
Coffee kettle.
Coffee kettle, yeah. A pot.
A gas station.
That's right. Gas station is right. Wow, $1,100. Nice going.
A triangle.
Triangle? No.
Isosceles triangle.
No.
Pyramid. Pyramid.
Wait, am I doing this right?
Square.
Parallelogram.
Wait,
Parallelogram.
Jeez, I can't remember what it is. I can't believe this.
A rectangle. Yes, rectangle.
No, we're taking you pass. We pass. We can't take it. Sorry.
Bullshit, Bert Convey. When you pass, you don't lose it entirely. It just shuffles to the end. I'm calling BS on that. If that's the difference here, Bert Convey needs to be sanctioned and fired.
You got $1,100.
It's a smile. It's a moose.
That's right.
Yes.
$1,200. Oh, that's great.
It's a fish. A shark.
Shark. Whale.
A big fish. Scales.
Scales is right. Fish scales is right. $1,300. You got 1 pass left.
Yeah, it's it literally is. It's like watching it's like looking into a world that doesn't exist anymore, and it's you know what I mean? We're still in the literal same world, but it's just such a society has shifted so much, and how all this shit how media and marketing works is so different. It just seems like a completely different. It seems like an impossible time.
Left, you have 45 seconds.
It's ankles, pants. It's a shirt, blouse.
Shirt.
A sleeve.
Sleeve is part of it.
Sleeve, cuff. Sleeve, cuff.
Arm.
Ham.
Sleeve, arm.
Arm.
Jeez.
Pass it. Go to the next one.
Short sleeves. Okay, no
That's
more
right.
passes left.
Another triangle.
Money. Dollar. Check. Money.
Money's part of it. Money's part of it.
Big bill.
Money.
A bill. A president.
Money.
A currency.
Money holder. Money holder.
A money clip.
Money clip is right. $1,400.
It's a mouth.
10 seconds.
It's a face. Hair.
It's a girl. Hairdo. Smile.
Wait. No. Profile.
All right, too bad. That's enough. You have $1,400. That was left face, but that's great.
Okay, here's how I would have done that one, and I would have gotten it. Brad Garrett goofed it. He blew it. You draw an arrow to the right and an arrow to the left, and you just point to that one, and then you point to that one, and they'll say it, and you write it down, and then you draw a face, and then you put that left face. That's it. Super easy. He went with face first, and that confused him.
Fantastic. You got 6 words. All right. Okay, who's going to draw for your team, Joanne? Joanne, who's going to draw for your team? Susan Blakely. Come on, Susan. Here you go.
I don't know. I think I'm losing it. No, don't.
No, you're not. You're going to be fine. Here you go. Watch this. You need 13 to win, so I suggest that you hurry.
Okay.
If you're all set, you got a minute and a half. You ready? And go.
It's a rainbow.
Rainbow's right. There's one of them. 12 to win, $300.
A red horse, a red moon, a red heart, a red tree, a red flower.
A rose.
Rose is right.
Okay.
$400. 11 to win.
Okay, a land, a lake, a sea, a pond, a fish, a whale,
A river.
a shark, a catfish.
No, that's an eel. A dolphin. A shark.
Catfish,
A whale.
shark, whale,
Abandon it.
a fin,
A crocodile. A lizard.
a crocodile, alligator.
Yes, alligator's right. $500. Need 10.
Classic mistake. She made the snout really short, and that's why it took so long to get to it.
To win. You have 2 passes left.
That's an eating mouse, eating horse, a nose on a mouse.
A nose to nose.
A kiss.
Kiss is right. $600. 9 to win. 45 seconds.
That's a woman, a man with wings.
You're watching me on a VR screen? That's weird.
A woman with wings, an angel.
Angel's one of it. One
I'm really high, so that seems really strange to me.
word of it.
That's a leopard. That's a fish with eyes.
Angel fish is right. You got them both. $700. Need 8 to win.
I can pass, right?
Yes.
Pass.
Ski jump. Okay. You have one more pass left. Too.
That's a plus, no, yes, a man.
30 seconds.
A steeple.
Church is part of it.
Church bell.
Church bell is right. $800. 7 to win.
One. That's a cross, a checkout. Check
You have one pass left.
Diver. A car. A Cadillac. A car fit, a car antenna. A car phone. A car hat.
Jack, that was.
See, she goofed it. She should have made the car with the wheel off, and then that jack. I think she just that was poor win loser drawing.
The jack for a car. All right, no passes left. Tuesday, you got that. That's $900. All right, time is up in West Windsor. Time is up in West Windsor. Far East, that was going to be. Nice going. You did great, though.
Alligator. Wasn't it
Alligator. That's right. You're doing eels.
Like Larry, Moe, and Curly. Fast cars and fancy shoes. Like Buffalo Bob and a lucky dog. And like cats who sing the blues. I'm an American original. The first draft beer in a can. Tapping ice cold pour.
South to West would be losing his shit to this song. This is exactly his kind of theme song.
With a friend of yours.
Brewery Fresh draft beer in bottles and cans. That's been Coors for over 25 years. Taste the original today.
Put a 12-ounce keg in your hand.
If you've ever wanted to try contact lenses, now's the time, because they're all 30% off at TSO with a comfort guarantee.
A lot of people tried contact lenses once and couldn't wear them, so they gave up. The new ones are vastly improved.
The most important thing about contact lenses is the fit. And we're going to take the time that it takes to make sure that the fit is just exactly right.
Save 30% on contacts with a 45-day comfort guarantee at TSO, now through March 3rd.
El Jim, I haven't seen him around for a while, I don't think.
13th.
It can happen at work. It can happen at play. When back pain strikes, call the Headache and Back Pain Clinic in Midland. The Headache and Back Pain Clinic offers many different treatments under the guidance of Dr. Kanti Patel, designated to relieve pain. Plus, the Headache and Back Pain Clinic handles all paperwork for workers' compensation and industrial injury patients. If you are covered, you pay nothing. For your appointment, call 685-3364 today.
How weird. Old chiropractor ad.
$1,400. We had $1,000. He'll go home with $2,400. Our thanks to you for watching us at Win, Lose, or Draw. Goodbye, everybody. Congratulations to all.
Some of today's contestants will receive the following. Jolly Rancher. It's the refreshing candy.
Oh, wow. Look at the old school Jolly Ranchers. Wow.
With the true mouth-watering taste of fruit available in watermelon, apple, cherry, cinnamon fire, and many more. And Dinty Moore beef stew, a hearty family favorite with chunks of beef, potatoes, and
Okay, there's another brand that's still surviving somehow.
carrots. No preservatives and only 240 calories per 8-ounce serving. And when a man you've never met before suddenly gives you flowers, that's Impulse. A different all-over fragrance for every mood. Impulse body spray.
You know what they mean by that, right? When they say all-over fragrance?
And Pledge is self-cleaning, so it cleans away dust and old polish to leave a fresh shine every time.
Oh yeah, I forgot Burt Reynolds was a producer on this, so in some of the early episodes, he's actually on quite a few of them, I think. With like Dom DeLuise and other people from their little clique.
Win, lose, or draw.
If I was on the show, whenever I went out to talk to the crowd, I would say crazy shit to the audience members, and then tell them that like no one would believe them because I was the television star. And does that make me evil?
Is a Bert and Bert production in association with Klein and Friends.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's our run of Love Connection and Win, Lose, or Draw. What a fun time for game shows. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I know I really want to do that TJ Yao episode. I'm looking for... Here's the issue with the TJ Yao stream right now, is that Grace, because of her feud with Ruby, has privated pretty much the entire archive again, right when I was really starting to dive into it. So I don't have access to some of the TJ Yao footage that I would like to, so I'm going to try to negotiate that. But if I can do that, I'd like to do the TJ Yao episode. I'm going to review Provo and Radio Foreman's Guys Night Out stream. Probably continue on in the Memphis Wrestling on Friday. I don't know what else, though. I'm in no condition to be discussing making any content commitment. What's going on with that? You've been out of the loop for a few days? Well, Ruby's audio was played on a video of her cam girl videos, was played on ZXV's channel, which then was rebroadcast by Grace's channel. So Ruby struck ZXV. I'm assuming she struck Grace. She said she did, and then she also like basically brigaded to for people to mass report Grace's channel. So Grace took down all the videos. Ruby banned everybody who was connected to Grace. She banned me from her chat. So, I mean, it's pretty... And then also Ruby said that she was going to go get restraining orders against multiple people, including the Thorpes yesterday, but I haven't seen any movement on that. Yeah, I've been following Rich's descent, mostly through LolCal Live, but I've been watching some clips. But that's pretty much what's going on with Ruby and Grace. I don't know anything beyond that. I wouldn't mind watching the Review Tech USA June the King doc sometime on here. But yeah, that's it. What a weird era. Some of these interviews and shit almost seem like it almost seems like AI. Like some of the people were just so like almost alien or foreign on these game shows. Anyway, I'm too high. I need to go lay down or something. All right, thanks for hanging out, watching these old game shows with me. I appreciate it. I'll be back on Monday.